I hope you guys can hear the music. I'm not really sure. We'll find out. You'll let me know. What's up, everybody? How's it going? I've got my soundboard going here with StreamYard, and I'm really not sure if that worked or not, but it doesn't really matter because this is the last live stream from Nerdrotic Studios. Welcome, everyone. So yeah, I'm using StreamYard, so I'm not sure how good the picture is, but I can do stuff like this now. Hey, what's up? Don't get used to it, though. I like OBS more. So welcome, Luminous Brilliance and Siflau and Jose. Hi, Jose. It just jumped on me. Von Max, Joe Bag of Donuts, DW, Schnicked, Liebermeister, RR, Mike Vierdub, Disabled Llama, Titan, LK, Lady Gravemaster. I told you you didn't have to stay up, Lady Gravemaster. Hail, everyone. So we got just a couple things to talk about today. I really spent the day making probably my last video from here, which will be out tomorrow morning. As you can see, nothing in this room has been unpacked. It will be packed up tomorrow. I'm going to pick up my trailer. There's going to be multiple trips involved in this. So I guess the goal is to get down to San Diego County and get the studio set up in time for Friday Night Tights, which will happen. I'll make sure that happens. The internet is already up and running, so it should be fine. We have just some guy this Friday. We might bring somebody else on. I'm not sure. We didn't announce it Friday, but as from Heel versus Babyface is going to go bi-weekly on Friday Night Tights. He has been a warrior, but he ends up staying up pretty late when he does our show, and it's kind of wearing on him. So I'm happy we get him for 2 times a month, which is fine. We love Az. He's been a great addition to the show. So yeah, it'll be he'll be bi-weekly and bisexual, probably. So and then in the meantime, we'll have somebody else fill in that slot. We're currently working on getting that slot filled. So how's everybody doing? Yes, the escape from that's what I should have you know what? That's what I'm going to title this. Hang on. Give me a second. I'm going to retitle. That's a much better title than leaving. So there we go. Escape from, don't capitalize the from San Francisco. There we go. Thanks. I appreciate you. Excuse me. Just dark side filled you guys right there. So thank you, Peter Han. Or Han. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I just committed a hate crime. I mispronounced your last name. Shit. Well, DC Comics dropped the hammer today, and that surprises no one. And there are going to be people who are going to be extremely giddy over this, and you can't blame them. You can't. Not after the treatment the comic fans have received from the hacks inside the comic book industry. As bad, remember the days where John Byrne was considered bad? He wasn't, by the way. Perfectly lovely man John Byrne is. He's just got a quick wit. He's got what's called a sense of humor. It might be on the dark side, but I think we can all appreciate that, can't we? And Warren Ellis is now gone, and we are left with Tess Fowler. We are left with Kelly Sue DeConnick, Tom Caron. We're left with Donnie Cates. We're left with Dan Slott, Mark Wade. That isn't much. It's pretty sad what's happened to the comic book industry. So DC laid off a third of their editorial staff. Bob Harris was included in that. And while I respect the man, he's kind of a legend, he let all this shit go on. And so did Warner Brothers, the previous regime, and DC Comics. Now, DC Comics is suffering a little bit from what Marvel has done to the industry, but DC certainly played their part. The most concerning language within the articles that I go over in my video, from the Hollywood Reporter, Bounding into Comics, Bleeding Stool, Bleeding Fool, the Beat Off, is that DC is going to focus on direct to consumer product. Now, you might think, hey, that's the streaming service, that's HBO Max, which is certainly their focus right now. By the way, these studios are going to regret putting all of their focus into streaming services. But as far as streaming services go, I thought DC Universe was one of the better ones. It's one of the ones my kid actually used. So it's going to be absorbed into HBO Max. I did a video on this a year ago. I received the same criticism as I received when I said DC Comics could shut down, Marvel could shut down. Others have said it too. But nothing lasts forever, and the comic book industry could not survive the beer bug, a complete shutdown. It was on its way down anyway. But the language used within those articles was direct to consumer, and the focus is going to be on Amazon and bookstores and not on comic shops. DC Direct is done, which is unbelievable. DC Direct was one of the best action figure lines out there. It's very sad to see it go after 22 years. And that is going to affect comic shops because that's where most of those toys went. But considering that they're not going to focus on comic shops anymore, I don't know why you keep DC Direct open. How does this affect Diamond? Diamond made a lot of money off of DC Direct and DC, and we'll have to see how this affects Diamond Select, if that even exists anymore. And comic shops really didn't need another kick in the balls, but they got one. But it's their fault. You're right. Comic shops hold a lot of responsibility for this fight, for not doing something soon enough, for not banding together. And you know what? The whole industry just spent the last 6 months pissing away what could have been a good opportunity to save themselves, reboot themselves into something stronger. Instead, they formed whisper networks. They created blacklists. They succeeded in canceling each other. Some people certainly deserve to be gone. Some people did not, but they didn't focus on making good comic books that would be for everyone, to appeal to the most, the most paying customers possible. Now the focus is going to go to Scholastic, the YA novels, which probably would make sense in 2019. Doesn't make sense in 2020. You want to know why? Scholastic relies, well, it's got Amazon, but it also relies on the schools. And a lot of schools are going to be open. A lot of schools are going to be, well, the ones that are open are, I don't know if they're going to limit how many kids go and they're going to spread them out throughout the district. I don't know how many parents are going to let their kids go to school. My kid has to start school on Monday online. So we'll see. We'll see. Online school works about as well as online AA meetings, by the way. Not that great, to be honest with you, especially with the special needs kid. So that's a story for another day. We don't talk politics here, but I do have to acknowledge that Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris. Right. She has a perfect prosecution record here in San Francisco. 0 for 0. 0 for 0. Know all about her. She did nothing. And I mean, she has risen up through the ranks. I could speculate how, but I won't. So yes, I'm leaving San Francisco as well, and good riddance. I will be defunding the police, the street cleaners, the teachers, the meter maids, although you're not supposed to call them that anymore, yet I still do. Funny. how that works. The tax collectors, Mayor London Breed, who did nothing for the last 6 months, and she considers that a victory. Now, I am not a partisan person. I vote by the issue, and it's a symbolic vote, by the way, because my vote doesn't count because I have been to prison. I have 2 felonies on my record. You know, it's funny. The first thing my parole officer told me when he discharged me was to leave California because of the atrocious 3 strikes law we have here. And now I'm doing it. But back to comic books. The American superhero comic book is done. It is dead. And there is still plenty of people out there who still love the American superhero comic book. And you see that in the Indiegogo campaigns. But unfortunately, these giant corporations, when they took over Marvel and DC way back in the day, it just wasn't their priority. Now, Warner Brothers did do a pretty decent job with DC for quite some time, but that eventually eroded and went away. Funny thing, I was going through my stuff. I found an old hard drive today, and I found the podcast I have been talking about forever that I did at my comic shop the day Disney bought Marvel. So I will put that on my website within the next week. It's kind of a shit show. It's like 9 people talking over each other, but it's very interesting what we said back then, what would happen to Marvel. A lot of us were right. We'd get good movies and we'd lose the comic book industry. And honestly, when Disney bought Marvel, that was it. It was on its way out. It just took a long time. It's been on hospice for a while. The direct market is generally what killed the comic book industry. The predatory practices, the variants, the overshipping, the constant reboots of shit books like fucking Captain Marvel, and the treatment, and the comic shops just took it like a bitch for the most part because of convenience. Diamond made it very convenient, but they also were killing the comic book industry. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts day by day by making it more convenient. It's got to be a concern when there is no competitor for Diamond and nobody had the desire to distribute comic books because there just wasn't enough money in it. I hear there's talk of a union. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. Unions, agents, you have to make money for those things to happen, and none of y'all are making money. I hope a lot of comic creators, I know they're not, but I hope they're taking a personal inventory right now. Usually when things go tits up, generally, back in my old days, I wanted to blame other people. Try to use I statements here. But since I've been in recovery, I've learned to look inward first. Always look inward first. If I have a video that goes up and it does shitty, I don't blame the algorithm. I look inward first. And taking a personal stock would probably be a good idea right now, because all of them are going to have to get into the crowdfunding game. There's going to be a lot of competition, and they're going to find out that it isn't as easy as it looks. So there's going to be very few comic shops left. There'll be the big boys, Midtown Comics, when and if New York and California open up again. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I was more pissed in my video. When you see it, I'm kind of yelling throughout the whole thing. So I've kind of got my yayas out in that video. I'm a little tired too from packing up and stuff. But also the live streams over the next 2 weeks, other than the Inquisition and Friday Night Tide, it's going to be pretty inconsistent. The video content's going to be Tim Pool style. Just due to time constraints. So stick with it. It'll be back. Things will be back to normal by September 1st. I'll have, the goal is within 2 weeks to have the new studio up and running, and action figures back on the wall in a much bigger studio that I can fit my pinball machine in and my Sega Spider-Man game. So yeah, I got that. But as far as the comic industry is concerned, I am so glad I did not buy my comic shop back. When I talked to Brian about a year and a half ago, we had a lunch. Brian Hibbs, by the way, Brian Hibbs did have a heart attack. I hope he gets better. I truly do. So we can disagree until the end of time. But we had a lunch and he was thinking about selling the shop back to me. I was thinking about it for about a second. I didn't like the price. And even if the price was good, I wouldn't have done it. You can't go home again. So I'm very happy I made that decision. I'm very happy that things turned out well in the end. The universe tends to unfold as it should. So when I got out of the industry initially, I was forced to sell my shop because I relapsed, and it turned out to be great. Turned out to be great in the long run. It wasn't great at the time, but it turned out to be okay. Things worked out. Got this YouTube thing going on. It's pretty fun. But man, watching what happened today was, I have to say, a little entertaining. I did get, I was a little happy about it. I hate to say that, but it's good to see that a lot of people were right. A lot of us have been talking about this. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Clownfish TV, Neon from Clownfish TV, and I joke about this. He worked in the industry for years. I worked in the industry for years. And every time we make a video, there's no doubt I'll get a comment within 10 minutes. I don't know shit about the comic book industry. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll tell you this right now. The last person on earth I would ask about the business of selling a comic book would be a writer and an artist from DC and Marvel. There are rare exceptions. Ethan Van Sciver, Brian Polito, who wasn't at either of those places. There are, Todd McFarlane. Yes, there's people who can be artists and entrepreneurs, but it is rare. It is very rare. And despite Comicsgate's flaws, it's got flaws. Let's be real. They had the right idea. It started out as a consumer movement, and I was there in the early days. I was in your boy Zach's chats. I was mainly hanging out with Comics Division. That's where I met Comics Division. England Teen from I Love Comics and his live streams. Just Some Guy who is still doing it. I mean, he's probably stayed the most consistent throughout all of this. Is Just Some Guy. I think he is top 2 comic book critics on the planet, and I mean that. I kind of see him as he's the Mahler of comic books, and we saw it back then. And it started out as a consumer movement. We just wanted Marvel and DC to get better. We wanted them to be more neutral, to be less partisan. I mean, it turned the comic book industry into a personal, partisan, political platform. And that's where the Comicsgate movement started. It's evolved into a couple of things, and it's got offshoot groups. But essentially, it started out like what the Fandom Menace is right now. Comicsgate or Gamergate, I see that was different. It started out, against the Access Media and their collusion, and then it turned into something else, and it had some assholes join up and give it a bad name. So, they always harken back. I see Comicsgate as something different, and then Fandom, but they're the same. At the foundation, it's, hey, respect the paying customer. That's a difficult thing for a lot of creatives to do these days, but they'll be gone. So we'll get some new ones, and we'll get a new and different industry out of this. And it'll probably be a lot like music. But the thing is, as movies and television go into streaming, we have an example out there of what happens to an industry once it goes digital, once it goes to direct to consumer. It turns into white noise. It still makes money, but not as much. It's still prominent, but not as prominent. remember how prominent music used to be? Remember when people gave a shit about the Grammys and there used to be bands touring and filling up stadiums? But now it has to rely on festivals. Well, when those can never start up again. And there's still good music out there, but there's a finite number of creative people on the planet. And there was a time when the most creative people went into music. Music used to be the most difficult and also the most expressive form of art. That has changed. That has changed. Same thing's going to go with comics. Digital has never worked and will never work. It'll be part of it. It can be a revenue stream, but it's never going to be the main thing. So this new model will still shrink the industry a little bit, but you'll be able to make more money and you'll have a better chance of realizing your dream as a comic book artist. And it's all on you. You won't have any gatekeepers. I mean, there's still technically, yes, there'll be gatekeepers like Indiegogo. As long as Indiegogo stays the course and continues to be a business that wants to make money and not be partisan, although they are based right here in San Francisco. I think there's a great opportunity for other places to come up and offer a service like Indiegogo. I think it would be good if they had some genuine competition, as long as they treated their customers the same way Indiegogo does, because you never know. Indiegogo changes ownership or somebody buys it and turns it into Kickstarter. You just never know. Remember, Patreon started out pretty cool, didn't it? And then it turned to shit. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe they're just being quiet until they're worth $1 billion or whatever they're worth now. And then they sell off. YouTube started out that way. So it's always good to have an alternate source and competition. And that's what killed the comic book industry. It didn't have any competition. So it didn't have any innovation and it just stayed the same. Stagnant. Amazing Spider-Man sales stayed the same for like 8 years in a row. That is not good. And they can brag all they want about, the entire industry made $1 billion. Yeah, take away Scholastic, take away manga, and what do you have? 300,000, 400,000 in sales. And that's direct to comic stores and bookstores. That is an actual sales. Knock off another 20%. And that's what the actual sales are. Oh, so let's get to you guys. Let's get to you guys a little bit. I have no articles or anything. It's just you and me. Maybe we'll go to bounding into comics a little bit. John F. Trent's doing some good work. The thing is, man, you can never time a move great. And my biggest concern is, I crater the channel while I'm moving because you have to keep putting up content, but my content's going to be so different. So I'm going to have to kind of change my strategy a little bit. And, the algorithm usually doesn't like that. So we'll see how things go. But I will plug away. I will still try to do as many live streams as possible. That has been my focus since the beer bug started, and it's been a lot of fun. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. Hope we've kept each other company during the lockdown, kept each other sane. But here we go. What's up? So we've got Fallout Zone G for $5. Glad you're getting out. Hopefully my father can sell his property and do the same. By the way, I can't believe Mrs. Truancy is a VP selection. I know. Isn't that freaking ridiculous? It's ridiculous. And as far as selling the property, that's a major concern of mine. I think we're just gonna, I don't know, man. I don't know. I could wait it out or I could just sell it. I don't think I would take any real losses, but as far as, there's real concerns. We have trucking companies, rightly so, saying they're not going to go to cities that have defunded police because they're not going to be able to get insured. And then you're not going to be able to insure a home. Here in California, we have earthquake insurance. It's ridiculously expensive. So not everybody has it. I have it, but it's expensive. I don't think I'll have it in San Diego, but here is probably a good thing to have. What do you think homeowners insurance is going to be now? And that's going to affect all the rents. And the way rents go here in San Francisco, you got to be real concerned if you're a landlord, especially with some of the language we're hearing from the extremists out there saying property is a right, abolish rent. Well, that is certainly some language that most Americans aren't going to agree with. But it can cause a lot of trouble in big cities. So it's up to the people of the big cities to start, I think the one lesson we can all learn from this is pay attention to your local elections. Because in, these city council members, these lower level political positions get filled by lunatics and people who are not qualified. It would suck to live in Seattle and Portland right now. And it's kind of a miracle San Francisco isn't like that. It's thanks to the tech boom, they forced everybody out. I know it's a pain to move, but you will be better off for it. Don't get discouraged. Very much love, brother. Oh, I am not. Do I sound discouraged? I hope not. Buck, thank you for the $5. No, I am excited. I am excited for the next chapter. No, living life as a victim is pathetic to me. Unfortunate circumstances beyond our control caused something. It sucked. It sucked to have my wife shut down her very successful business, and it wasn't her fault. And we could cry and say, woe is me. And she certainly did her share of mourning for her business, which she had every right to do, but she has turned the page. She is on to the next thing. That's my girl. That's why I married this one. She's a keeper. Fuck. She doesn't mind. She likes comic books. She likes Star Trek. She collects vinyl. Done. That you got to lock that shit down. You know what I'm saying? Got to lock it down. And I did. So we are on to the next thing, and we are excited. And I'm looking forward to putting together my new studio, and it's going to be a studio where I can have guests in the studio, so I can do like a Joe Rogan thing. It'll probably be just Ryan Cannell because he's down there in San Diego. I don't know if anybody else is down. Maybe some of the LA peeps can come down, but and then when we can do meetups again, I can go out and do live remote stuff. Oh yeah. I got plans. And I'm looking forward to going, again, we're moving to San Diego because it's a 2-part move. So we're going to San Diego just so Melissa can work. There's some work she can get. She has work down there. And then I could be closer to my mom, my father-in-law, and then we can plan on getting the whole family out of California. It's a 6 to 9 month thing. I'm going to have to travel to Texas. Texas is number 1 on the list right now. And don't worry, I promise we will not vote like a typical Californian. I never did, but we won't. And that's a legit concern. When I posted that up on Twitter, people are like, don't vote like Californian. That's a good thing to bring up. I don't get offended by that at all. Hail, Gary, good luck with your move. If you open up a comic shop again, which I will you be selling through the mail? Yes. Would love to buy back issues from you. Michael Hulk for $5. Absolutely. Actually, that's going to start prior to me opening up a brick and mortar shop. That's going to start soon. So that online store is going to be happening by April of next year, maybe sooner. Gunshots. Awesome. It's like right on cue. Oh, I know the difference too. That wasn't firecrackers. It's not unusual these days. Good luck and Godspeed, says Brian Yoder for $10. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. And I think, all the well wishes, I can't express how grateful I am for it. It really has kind of pumped up yours truly and Mrs. Nerdrotic, and the kids notice this stuff too, by the way. My kid who watches the Quartering and Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers more than his dad, which is fine. I'm not hurt by it. No, I can't thank you guys enough. Culture Casino, thank you for the phallic unicorn. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. I was watching you on John Talks last night. I was watching you and Nina Infinity and John Talks. It was a good live stream last night, by the way. Very good. Well done. Got the word for the show via Parlor, not YouTube. Modalicious. Well, I mean, so you didn't get your notification. Not surprised. I don't know if I'm on, I don't know. It's August. So August is always kind of shitty on YouTube unless you're part of some, weird algorithm. Because sometimes you can create your own algorithmic wave. Our good friend Doomcock is kicking ass over there with the Star Wars rumors. So, but yeah, I've been hearing notifications are going out, and it feels like they're not going out as much. But I think what happens is you just get rotated in and out. It's never the end of the world. I've gone through very slow periods, and this isn't slow. This is pretty average. It's pretty average, and I'll take average. The channel's still growing. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. And if it stops tomorrow, fine. I'm happy where I'm at. It's all good. Again, I've got plans. The Exozone is going to come back strong in September. And it's going to be partially here on YouTube and partially a podcast. Jake D, thank you for the phallic unicorn. And again, good job on your Umbrella Academy review. As far as my Umbrella Academy review, it's done. I just need to throw clips in that won't get copyright claimed. So hopefully I can throw it together tomorrow. But if not, it'll be out by the weekend. It'll probably be too late. And again, I mostly liked it, but barely mostly liked it. It got a 7 out of 10, and it barely hit that 7. Sushi Joe, thank you for the phallic unicorn for $1.49. I appreciate it. Covenant for $1.99. Good luck, buddy, with the move. You rock, Gary. Love you. Love you too. And you guys rock. Have a pizza on me. Good luck with the move, says Columbus Banker Bob for $5. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's go. We'll read a little bit of this. Man, it's been so long since I used StreamYard for a live stream. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. This is bounding into comics. Massive layoffs at DC. Now, again, it affected more than just DC Comics. This affected DC Universe, DC Direct, and this is only the beginning. Now, it's strange that we haven't heard from Marvel in any of this. Well, they've gotten a lot of the PPP money. DC has bigger things going on, and they can keep Marvel going for a little while. But remember, Disney, I say DC, Disney really hates admitting defeat. And you almost, despite the results, I do respect AT&T coming out and going, there are no sacred cows. Heads are going to freaking roll unless we make money. I don't like their conclusions. I'm not looking forward to Captain Underpants meets Batman, but by the way, comic shops, that's your future. It was really important to me that I liked what I sold, that I liked what I did, because you don't make enough money at a comic shop for it to just be a job. You better enjoy it. I wasn't into magic cards. Nothing against them. I just wasn't into them. So I didn't feel right selling them because I wouldn't know shit about them. Same went for manga. I wasn't into it. I didn't know shit about it, so I wasn't going to sell it. I decided to play to my strengths: action figures and comic books, superhero comic books. And it worked. It worked because here in San Francisco, everybody wanted to be the alternative, edgy, edgelord comic shop. And I wanted to be the Jim Dandy traditional comic shop, which was an outlier here. It's kind of like Alex P. Keaton, A new report indicates that DC Comics and DC Universe are undergoing massive layoffs, with multiple high-level executives being let go. This new report from The Hollywood Reporter comes just days after Warner Media CEO Jason Killer, I'm just going to call him Killer, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's appropriate, explained that he was restructuring the company in order to streamline decision-making. So this is just to get to the decision-making part. This is, I mean, there's so much goddamn corporate speak in this too. Not only did he explain the restructuring was to streamline decision making, but he also told The Hollywood Reporter it was to adapt to market changes, Killer stated. So what these changes are largely about is me feeling very strongly where a media company should go in terms of the future is to orient themselves as a consumer-oriented company. So you want to orient yourself to some orientation. Well, nobody has anything against orientation, but I think there has been a little bit too much focus on some orientation. I'm talking about politics, of course. He then detailed these changes represent prioritizing three different things. Number one, a consumer orientation far more than a wholesale orientation. Number two, going direct to consumer. And number three, going global. Now, it's the number two one that should be a concern. I mean, number two should always be a concern, but then it shouldn't be a concern, if you know what I'm saying. Killer was also asked if there would be layoffs, and he noted there would be. He stated, "We're not talking about layoffs specifically, but we're going to just fire some motherfuckers. But obviously there will be layoffs just given the nature of what we're doing here." Yeah. Making money. See, the thing is, when you hire, I'm not even talking about democratic socialists here. I never really fully bought into that concept. I know it exists. It's fine. We have some here in the chat. You're more than welcome. I think there's a lot of Marxists in the industry, which always blows my mind. What kind of an industry do you think you'll have in that kind of a system? Seriously, you think comics will exist? Do you think there'll be comic stores? Comic stores, state-sponsored comic stores. There'll be propaganda pamphlets. I guess you can get a gig there. And well, shit, that's what comics have turned into practically. Well, it looks like those layoffs came sooner than expected for DC Comics and DC Universe. The Hollywood Reporter reports that editor-in-chief Bob Harris, senior vice president of publishing strategy and support services, Hank Canals, vice president of marketing and creative services, Jonah Weiland, vice president of global publishing initiatives and digital strategy, Bobby Chase. What the hell is a vice president of global publishing initiatives? Not global publishing initiatives and digital strategy. So your job is to come up with plans for shit and basically plan things. You're not even planning. That's initiative. So you are creating the initiatives for possible plans that might have a strategy. Senior story editor, well, that's a job. Okay, Brian Cunningham and executive editor Mark Doyle were all axed, and that wasn't the only ones, by the way. In fact, they report that roughly 1/3 of DC's editorial ranks are laid off, according to sources. Again, these sources must be from LA, because according to Matt Jarbo, sources are only good if they're geographical. If your source is in the proximity of the Los Angeles area, it's a legitimate source. If your source is in Washington, it's not a legitimate source. Even though Lucasfilm is up here in the Bay Area. A separate report from Bleeding Stool's Rich Johnston also detailed a number of others who were axed, including editor Andy Corey. You're going to go, why are you so mad about that? Who is Andy Corey? Well, I mean, if you watch Ethan streams, you know who Andy Corey is. If you watch your boy Zach, you know who Andy Corey is. Andy Corey is an editor. He's also a major SJW. He's a blogger who infiltrated. He's one of the assholes who infiltrated the industry, filled it full of SJW garbage, and killed Vertigo. He helped kill Vertigo. Probably, I'm hearing instrumental in bringing on Miss Quinn, and then helped kill the Black Label, which was Vertigo's replacement. You know, the one where they showed Batman's dong. I do own that comic. As soon as I heard his dong was going to be in it, it made me think of the Vag slip in Elektra #2, which is worth money. Jim Lee's executive assistant, Eddie Choi, international publishing, ad sales, and custom creative studios, Sandy Resnick, and marketing director, Sarah Haskell. And listen, I'm not happy that some people have lost their jobs. I'm happy Andy Corey has lost his job. Should have never had it. Anybody who went out of their way to destroy the industry that I love, the one that I want no part of anymore at all. I'm not going to buy a Marvel comic. I'm not going to buy a DC comic. It kills me not to buy a Dark Horse comic. I love Dark Horse. Dark Horse was my favorite publisher of all of them. I loved how they did business. Quality over quantity for so long. And they came out of Eclipse and Pacific Comics, two publishers that I loved as a kid. So I'm not happy. Some innocent people are involved here, so none of my anger is directed at you. But that being said, you had a chance to stop this. You all did. You know, it's okay to say something, even in the corporate structure. Yeah, sometimes it gets you in a little bit of trouble. I've had my share of trouble. That's why I don't work very well in the corporate structure, because when I see bullshit, I call it out. Sometimes my attitude is not the best. All right, quite frankly, it's shitty. It's shitty when in the corporate structure. I did not work very well within it. And I regret some of the things I said at Tesla in particular, but because there were some good people there, but I also don't appreciate being bullshitted. So it tends to get under my skin a little bit. It wastes my fucking time. And, you know, I'm not a youngster anymore. We all have a finite number of years left on this planet, but I have quite a few less than a lot of people there. So I'm not going to put up with that shit. Going to be 51 in a few days. Feeling it a little bit. Johnston added that director of publicity Michael Schelling and vice president of comic book specialty and newsstand sales Jim Scholastic also lost their jobs. While DC Comics was significantly hit, THR also adds that insiders also say the majority of the staff of the streaming service DC Universe has been laid off, a move that had been widely expected. Did a video on it a year ago, as Warner Media shifts its focus to new streaming service HBO Max. Layoffs also hit DC Direct as well, according to the Hollywood Reporter's report. So the floppy is done. Happy birthday. Well, that's a lot of ways off, and you're not 50 yet. Damn it, he says. Damn it. Yeah, damn it. The floppy's done. And I think the new model is what Indigo, like what Ethan is doing and Brian Pulido had been doing and what John Malin's doing. They're making prestige comics, but they're still the size of, so you're not going to get your monthly floppy anymore. You're going to end up paying a little more for a nicer comic with a hollow foil cover or a die cut cover. You're going to get some tchotchkes with it. And that works. Essentially, you bring back the 90s and you focus on those 50 somethings, those 40 somethings, those 30 somethings that have liquid, that have disposable income. The comic industry was focusing for so long on a customer base they didn't I don't know, they didn't bother tending the garden. So they were always chasing the dragon of the new customer. So now you're seeing the whole focus go to something that isn't comic books. Okay, Captain Underpants isn't a comic book. It's fine. It should exist. It's for kids. It's dumbed down. Personally, I think it's for little kids. I mean, my kid read Captain Underpants when he was like really young. And the more sophisticated readers, the adolescents, are going to go to manga now. DC and Marvel cannot produce manga, which is too damn bad. But there's still a market for the American comic book. And manga is superior, God, it kills me to say this, to the American comic book because it didn't fall prey to the extreme leftism, SJWs, NPCs. Better watch out, manga. Better watch out. So what's left of my beloved comic book industry is going to be leaner, meaner, but much smaller. I'll be happy to sell, it sucks that there's not going to be stores, but your boy Zach put it correctly so in his video today. It's going to go more, did he use the word artisanal? It's going to be like vinyl, which is another thing I will be selling in my shop. I love vinyl. Absolutely love it. So there'll be shops like mine, which will be semi-retirement shops or a shop connected to another job or comic shops owned by three guys who have day jobs who partner for their hobby. That's the only kind of comic shops you're going to have. You'll have the rarity like Mile High Comics. Chuck Rosansky's not going anywhere. Mile High Comics isn't going anywhere. I don't think Brian Hibbs is going anywhere. James at Isotope here in San Francisco is not going anywhere. But most shops are. The ones that was at the diamond storefronts, they're gone. That relied on the floppy. So, my comic shop will still be primarily back issues, vintage toys. I repeat, I will not have a diamond account. Fuck that. And you used to have that to have a comic shop. And it's like the old days again. This is how comic shops started. It was just a dude with his collection, rented out a store in the shitty part of town and opened up a shop. Now, I don't know if I'm going to open up in any shitty part of town because the shitty parts of town right now have decided to revisit the late 70s and early 80s as far as crime is concerned. So, and any shop you have now, you might as well put it in a cage. You have to invest in 1/4-inch glass. You got to put the bars over your window, even in the nice places now. You're going to see all the Walmarts and stuff doing this. And it's going to be a while, till things settle down. Mad Cat 15 just got back from deployment. What the fuck happened to the world? Really hope your new spot works out. Missed you, man. Mad Cat 15, welcome back. Just stay at home. Listen, things will be fine. I'm going to use a Brie Larson term. On the baseline, things will eventually be fine. I don't know what kind of world we're going to live in. A hyper police state, probably, where our language will be policed. I hope not. I hope everybody's woken up to this. You know what? We can have our political differences, but like freedom is in danger. Like actual freedom is in danger. And I'm leaving San Francisco because I wanted to enjoy my freedom. You want to talk about a basic human right? A lot of people out there infringing on that, marching into neighborhoods. By the way, it was good to see those fine folks in Colorado fight back. Well done, by the way. Well done. And while I am leaving San Francisco, I'm not going to, I will defend the next place I'm in because I'll be in a town that backs you up if you defend your home. That was my primary concern. Wherever I move, I am able to defend my home and I won't get prosecuted. See, here in San Francisco, I don't know. Somebody breaks into my house. I end the dude. I'll probably get in trouble. San Francisco is gorgeous, but Texas is fantastic. Nerd cookies for $2. There are parts of this area up here that are beautiful. The city, a bit overrated. It's pretty dirty. It's got some fun parts. It does have some nice parts, some real nice parts. Not where I live. Where I live is very average. Nice folks in the neighborhood, though. I mean, they're nice people. But if you go up Northern California, it's beautiful. But around here, overrated until you get over the Golden Gate Bridge. That's pretty nice. Wheezy Bird for $1.99. Did you visit and close your P.O. box? I have not closed my P.O. box, and I won't close my P.O. box I have a 6-month agreement on it, and I won't close it until I sell this house up here. My oldest son, Nerdrotic the Tall, the 6'5" beast, will be living here for a while until he finishes up his training, because he's learning how to code. And I will keep it open. I have not visited it. I will visit it before I leave. I'm packing up the room what I can, taking off Thursday all day drive. Well, it's not all day, and then I'll get there Thursday night. Then I'll set things up for Friday night tights, unpack a little bit over the weekend, come back up, get the second trip, So the nooners are probably going to suffer. I mean, I'll still do 2 live streams minimum during the week, maybe more. You'll get a lot of impromptu, and keep an eye on Nerdrotic Live. I'll probably do a bunch of impromptu ones there. I'll probably do one there tomorrow as I'm unpacking the room. I took a bunch of pictures. I took a video of it before it goes. And I do have a picture for the green screen. So Dr. Year One for Australian $2. Travel safe. Thank you, my friend. I hope things are better for you guys in Australia, as much as I'm complaining. Australia is fucked. Oh my God. They can't travel between their states. And if you're in Melbourne, you can't leave. Lord Ravener, thank you for the $1.49 unicorn. Lots of phallic unicorns. God bless phallic unicorns. Modalicious for $2. Gas is cheaper in Texas. Here's a gallon's worth. Modalicious, thank you. Everything's cheaper in Texas. I'm going to be saving so much money by leaving this crap hole. I still have to pay property taxes for a little bit, but it felt so good to tweet at London Bree today and just basically tell her to fuck off. It felt good. DJ D Show for $2. Good luck, Gary. Bless you and your family. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Francis Vaughn, what's this? Francis Vaughn Flibberty Gibbet. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. I do appreciate it. So, Jim Lee is still around. I don't know how Jim Lee is still around. All he did was doodle during this crisis. And again, the crisis started March 16th. Actually 17th. Excuse me. It started the day the new Warriors, Snowflake and Safe Space, were announced. It started the day Brian Hibbs put on his Facebook post. He was pleading for Marvel, DC, and Diamond to say something, because we all saw what was coming down. We all saw that cities were going to start shutting down. Now, I got wind of our city shutting down a couple of days early. People were suspecting it, but I mean, they dropped the hammer on San Francisco. And by the way, have not lifted it since then. So I found out a couple days before. I did a live stream and I said, hey, I wonder what's going to happen to comic shops. They better fucking do something. So they've had months. And again, you've had months. Marvel, DC, Diamond, all the major publishers, a bunch of major shops could have all sat down and planned something. And what did they do? What did they fucking do? Canceled each other. Whisper networks. Oh, they're worried about Cecil having a cover at Dynamite. Well, Cecil didn't get his cover at Dynamite, and you don't have a fucking job anymore. Karma, bitch. You don't have to like Cecil. You don't have to like Cecil's brand of comedy, and that's what it is, folks. It's comedy. But Dynamite, fucking Dynamite, man. What a disappointment. Nick Barucci, man. Oh, that was so disappointing to see. And he fucked his company. I mean, he absolutely fucked his company. He bent the knee to people who will never buy his books, ever, ever. But Jim Lee's still around. As for Jim Lee, it appears he will remain as the chief creative officer for now. However, Bleeding Stools Richie Johnston indicates that Lee will eventually transition out of the position. So get fired. He details that Marie Javins, who is the current executive editor of Global Publishing Initiatives and Digital Strategy and current vice president and executive editor of DC Children/Young Adult, Michelle Wells, have been promoted to run DC Comics Publishing and will report directly to Jim Lee. That's your future. As for how this will affect DC Comics lineup, Johnson indicates Batman, Justice League, and Superman will more likely continue, as well as their digital line and their original graphic novel line. He also notes that DC Comics will put a greater emphasis on digital and bookstores rather than the comic book shop. That's it. I can't imagine. I can imagine reading that and still owning a comic book shop that relies on these people. That is my gut wrenching. Here's the problem. I have no sympathy anymore. It's gone. Right up until the Cecil cover, when I saw, by the way, the Cecil cover was nixed because of retailers too. There were some retailers who got involved. I also heard a rumor that a major property got involved. I don't know that for a fact, though. It's just a rumor. It was through an email. I can't verify it. The Boys. By the way, Eric Kripke endeared himself to a lot of people today. We'll talk about that in a second. The showrunner for The Boys. He also notes that DC Comics will put a greater emphasis on digital and bookstores rather than the comic book shop. Do you believe that shit? Right above that is CEO Randall Stevenson. How many CEOs they got? We have no sacred cows in our portfolio. These layoffs come after AT&T CEO Randall Stevenson detailed at the company's third quarter conference call that with investors back in October that the company had no sacred cows. That's what Wonder Woman looks like, by the way. That's a good, it's decent. This is, that guy's face on the left right there is horrific. But I'll take this. I mean, it's not, great or anything, but it's better than that other Wonder Woman cover. I talk about that in my video. I'll save that. I got to save something for the video, so I'll save that for my video. Mrs. Nerdrotic did follow that person on Instagram. She did try to communicate to her what I don't know if she was in communication. That's how I found out that the art was made before they pegged her to do the cover. And I just mentioned to Mrs. Nerdrotic because Miss Nerdrotic kind of saw her as an innocent party, that she was used by DC. While I agree with that, I also said, that's fine. You're going to get criticized anyway. Just let it go. And she couldn't let it go. So she kicked the hornet's nest. Well, I got no sympathy for you then. She had no idea what comic customers have been through over the last 4 years. But, listen, maybe I'm just an idiot. But anytime I get involved with a new job, when I'm at my new job and I have my interview, it's, we're going to go back to auto parts. even when I took this up, I asked where I could go to do some studying. Where can I go to do some research to find out about the job? Is there an employee manual? As a matter of fact, at Technicolor, the pre-mastering job I did was a job specific to Technicolor. It only existed there. It was a pre-mastering technician. And I made a manual for it because nobody had done it. So in my non-spare time there, I made a manual. I was an idiot for doing it. I probably should have got paid extra. I didn't, but oh well. More recently in March, there was speculation that DC Comics might actually be sold off or see its characters licensed off to other publishing companies. That's way more likely. And I think that's in Marvel's future. So there'll be a lucky company out there. I hope it's not IDW because quite frankly, IDW art for the most part sucks. It just does. The only IDW book I got regularly was Angel when they were doing Angel and some Star Trek books, and the art just always sucked. Motley Fool writer Leo's son would even detail that DC Comics publishing business wasn't worth a lot to AT&T, claiming it only accounted for 0.2 of AT&T's annual revenue. While Sun would write that it doesn't really matter if the company keeps or sells the business. He argued that they would more than likely keep it because the comic book storylines could still provide valuable fodder for future TV and film projects at Warner Media. Not necessarily, and I'll tell you why. They have been adapting the modern storylines. They have been adapting those modern storylines. But when less people buy those modern storylines, then you have less people spreading the word of mouth. Then it leaves the public conscience, and it just disappears. It fades away. You know, it's better to burn out than to fade away. And the comic book industry is fading away. And then you're going to run out of source material. And what they did was they skipped all the good stuff that they refuse to adapt now because all of those white people. So they can adapt any of the old good stuff. And believe me, there's enough out there to adapt till the end of time. You know, just like Star Wars, they had this whole EU thing with that they could have just adapted till the end of time. But see, you know, the thing is, even at the highest level of these studios, ego gets involved and they think they're smarter. They think they're better. They think they're better and smarter than the source material. You know, some shithead knows better than Denny O'Neil, Bill Finger. Batman been around for decades. They still can't get him right in the fucking movies. As much as I like some of those movies, that ain't Batman. Closest thing to the comic book Batman in a live action movie is Ben Affleck. Closest thing to Bruce Wayne, closest thing to Batman. Christian Bale was very good. Very, very good. Great. Even when he talked like this. Pray to me. But his costume sucked. And I mean, those are still Batman Begins is brilliant. Dark Knight is brilliant. I don't like Dark Knight Rises that much. But it's still it's still watchable. It's still good. So those are quality movies, and Chris Nolan is the best Batman director by far. Wouldn't it be great to have Chris Nolan with Ben Affleck and his costume for Batman versus Superman? Good shit. Would have been good shit. But yeah, we haven't really seen a Batman. I mean, it's the animated series. The animated series is the quintessential Batman now. And again, all they have to do is adapt that, but they refuse to because they know better. All right. I think the era of the superhero in film might be over. It depends on how quick they come back with stuff. Now, this is unprecedented, and I have been a follower of trends all my life because I've been into pop culture. So I'm not going to say I'm like this, this expert at trends, but I'm decent at it. I'm decent at picking out what might be good, what might not be good. Not perfect. I'm saying I'm decent because I had to, pay my bills and feed my kids with that. So I made a point to get decent at it. And I've never seen a trend broken by outside circumstances. So of course you have the habitual comic book buyer. That habit has been broken. That's another reason why comic book shops are going to be dying. But the MCU film, I mean, it's weird that it happened right after Endgame, and that was a clean break. This is going to be a whole different MCU. We're going to get X-Men and Fantastic Four that don't look like the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. So they'll end up changing them into comics. So they'll look like they do in the movies. And then they're going to wonder why it didn't work. Of course, their first reaction will probably be calling us, their first conclusion will be that we're racists and bigoted, or maybe we just like the characters that we grew up with. We wouldn't have a problem with any new characters if you created new characters. And put time and effort into that would be great. But they've had that time and wasted it. Maybe Todd McFarlane will come to his senses, not make a $10 million Spawn movie and make like a $70 million Spawn movie. I would love to see that, and just purely adapt your first, somewhere in those first 20 comic books. God, I love those. I love those. Give me just a second. Sorry. I went all Young Rippa on you. I love Young Rippa. I love his fucking live streams. He's like, he'll say something smart and then he'll like dramatic pause. It's a really long dramatic pause. I love it. Hollywood Reporter. There we go. Just want to have this up there while I talk. All right. Thank you, Alex Stoller, for $10. Get some coffee for the road. Oh, I will. I'm looking forward to the ride. You know what? That's the thing about YouTube. This isn't a complaint, by the way. I love what I do. Gonna keep doing it, having tons of fun. But you worry. I worry. I worry that the channel's going to ground to a halt and I got to keep making content. And I truly wish that YouTube would consider creating something called a vacation mode where once, and listen, a channel, it would be based on how many subs you have, how much your watch time, but basically give you a vacation. So it almost freezes your channel in the algorithm, or it keeps it there, maybe recommends some of your older videos a little more to keep people coming to your channel, but you're only allowed to use it like, if you have 50,000 subs, you get 1 week. If you have 250,000 subs, you get 2 weeks. If you have 1 million, you get, 4 or 6, or you get to choose. If you're PewDiePie, you get to choose whenever you want. Something like that. I think that would be a good idea. They wouldn't do it though. They wouldn't do it. Brainclaw Video, thank you for the super sticker and the $1.99. I truly appreciate it. That is very kind of you. From these ashes, better IPs will rise. RIP DC. Modalicious for $2. Yeah. It sucks. I would, you know what? I'm not going to lie. I wish I was telling you this was Marvel, because I've become more of a DC person over the last few years. I'm having a hard time even cracking open my old Marvel comics. Do I have it? I don't. I dug out my Jim Starlin Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel used to be a great book for a little while. Jim Starlin did Captain Marvel, and it was unbelievable. And what they're going to do is they're going to get Brie Larson those storylines. I throw up a little bit in my mouth when I fucking say that. And if you want some, I mean, they're not worth a ton of money, but you get Captain Marvel. I think it's issue 27, no, 26, no, 25 or 26 to 31 from the Bronze Age. That is a hell of a run with Thanos. And Starlin is just brilliant at the galactic art. And Brie Larson's going to get those. Makes me sick. But yeah, something better will rise, and you're seeing it. Again, some people don't like how Ethan does business. Some people don't like how Cecil does. Some people don't like how I do business. I, of course, was put on a list of Comicsgaters, and it basically, it was in order of the most racist and misogynist and toxic to the least, and I was number 4, ahead of Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Now, Jeremy is way more racist than I am, but no, I'm just kidding. As is. But like most of the people on that list didn't belong there because we're not Comicsgate. Like Clownfish TV was there. Jeremy was there from Geeks and Gamers. He's not Comicsgate. Now, I know the reason that list existed. It was to get us, it's for searching, and for certain words will end up next to our name when people look us up on Google. And believe me, Google notices that stuff. And I think it was, obviously it was deliberate, but they also put Just Some Guy and Young Ripa on there. Obviously 2 gentlemen who are not white. But yeah, we get caught up in this, and you might not like how we do business, but we do business. Okay. I mean, I have no control or say over Comicsgate. I have always been a supporter. I am a supporter of any consumer movement that puts the customer first. Again, they haven't done everything perfect over there, but neither have I. I'm not going to sit here and judge. I'd have Ethan back on my channel tomorrow. Cecil back on my channel tomorrow. Creatives at Marvel and DC, I'd have to think twice. For one, I don't think they would bring, I don't think they bring they don't have the milkshake to bring the boys to the yard. You know what I'm saying? I can have a comic artist from DC and I could interview them and nobody would watch. But if I bring Ethan, if I bring Cecil, I bring John Malin, people are going to watch. That's going to put butts in seats. You know? They're the new punk rockers. They are. God, I'm so disappointed in my generation. My generation, fuck millennials. Screw the millennials. The Gen Xers are the biggest disappointment. That's who's running around Portland and Seattle right now, are the fucking Gen Xers. The ones, the morons, freaking morons, latchkey kids. See what happens when you lose male role models? You know, I captioned, somebody put his problem being put up on Twitter, a picture of the 5th Doctor with his hands up in the air, kind of going like, he said to caption this. So I captioned it with, I tried to tell you, because he's Peter Davison, the guy who plays the 5th Doctor, was the one person who complained about Jodie, the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen. And he said it was Doctor Who turning into a female was the loss of a male role model. And that is important, especially when it was kind of, listen, you don't want a show to be a role model, but it really was a great show. It taught you how to think and not to fight. And that's a good thing, right? So they ripped that away to give something to the girls, and the girls didn't like it either, right? But I put in there, hey, I tried to tell you, and look what happens when you lose a male role model. You get Seattle and you get Portland. They are important. Of course, we need moms, we need dads. But Generation X, the DYI generation, they're fucking up right now more than anybody. A bunch of punk rockers who want to follow the rules. A bunch of punk rockers who want to be tools for the state. What the fuck? Still crying about daddy. You know what? If you're still crying about daddy after 25 and you're not going to therapy, then you're doing it wrong. Nobody should be crying about daddy after the age of 25. And we don't live in that society anymore. A lot of this shit is a product of an affluent society. I've been saying that forever. The economy was great. Was it perfect? No. But it was one of the best economies I've experienced in my life. Something we could certainly build on. Progress, not perfection. These morons want to tear everything down and not replace it with anything. They just want shit torn down because they're angry at something. Dad. Because dad, I don't know, dad overpromised. Dad didn't pay enough attention. Dad paid too much attention, and he told them they were special when they're not. They're just little meat popsicles running around, pooping everywhere like everybody else. Modalicious, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Welcome to Texas. Just beware of allergies in the San Antonio area. I have 3 girls who want hair done, and the wife and I definitely will buy from your shop. Larry Butler, hail. Thank you for the $5. Yep, that's something we got to consider. I don't have allergies, so we'll have to check that out. But thanks. Well, San Antonio looks good, man. The outskirts, though, I'm not going to be that close to the city. I am definitely not going into a city. Done with cities forever. Wasn't that crazy about them to begin with. I like San Diego because San Diego was chill. I still can't believe there was rioting in San Diego. See, that's when you know this shit was fucking organized. Nobody riots in San Diego. I grew up there. That would require a San Diegan to do something, to have initiative. My good friend Jay Trussell from down there appropriately named San Diego the land of the lotus eaters. It's beautiful down there. The weather's great. And there's just no initiative. Everybody's just really cool and laid back. It's like, riot, dude. I got to put my bong down, bro. I'm not going to riot. Whoa, that's so aggro, bro. That's San Diego. So, especially, I think it was was it La Mesa? Yeah, it was La Mesa. It was Mira Mesa. Mira Mesa, where they rioted. I want you to think of your town. Think if you're in a big city, think of the most boring suburban neighborhood that on the outskirts of your town, and then think about 10 times more boring, and that's Mira Mesa. Like, nobody lives there. It's like an industrial place. So they ended up fucking up a comic store that had to close down permanently. Fred's Comics. Emotionally unstable amphibian for £5. Hail, my Lord Gary. I canceled my Audible subscription so I could upgrade my Nerdrotic membership because I love you so much. Oh boy, I better entertain you because like Audible's like the one thing I believe in. I do. I use that app more than anything. My Audible app. It is filled with audiobooks. I love a good audiobook. So I better produce. I thank you. I am honored. Brian Nedfer for $4.99. Gary, glad you're getting out of the funny farm. Have a safe trip. Been listening to you for a year. Thanks for all you do. Extremely appreciate it. No, I extremely appreciate you guys. You guys keep me sane. Oh my God. Mrs. Nerdrotic, thanks you. Thanks you. There's a reason this channel's called Nerdrotic. It's got a double meaning, really. Let me tell you the story real quick. I was at the comic shop I used to own here in San Francisco for 10 years. And there was a guy named Sean Morgan. And he was looking at the new releases. And we were talking. And he said Nerdrotic, or at least I thought he said Nerdrotic. He said neurotic, but I thought he said Nerdrotic. And I'm all, Nerdrotic. This is like 2010. I'm like, I like that. I'm gonna get that right now. So I ran to GoDaddy and searched Nerdrotic, and it wasn't taken. Apparently, it was in the Urban Dictionary already. I didn't know that. So I bought nerdrotic.com, .net, everything else, and sat on it. And I didn't even use it at first when I started up this channel. And then eventually I moved over to that and designed the glasses logo. A good guy named Emery kind of refined it for me. Rest is history. But it's got a double meaning. It's a state of mind. I'm a little neurotic. We all are. you know, and then there's erotic. I love me. You know, yeah, my porn is old comic books, old sci-fi, fantasy. That's my porn. 5 a.m. here, time to go to work. Oh man, that reminds me of a Philip Labatt's for £5. That reminds me of a Dead Kennedy song. Soup is good food. Wake up, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's time to get up and go to work. That's how they end the song. But he says, good luck with the move, man. Thank you, Philip. Thank you for the £5. Jello Biafra used to be one of my role models. I'm interested to see where he's at politically now. He was a lot like, Bill Hicks. Didn't like anybody. Those are the kind of people I like. Streaming The Room box up, no good for 2 Canadian pesos. Yes. I'm going to get the trailer tomorrow morning early, and then the stream will be on Nerdrotic Live probably at, I don't know, 1 p.m. Pacific time. The Maxer 03. Thank you for the super sticker for 99 cents. I appreciate it. Rowan Mangian for $7.99 Australian. Hail, Gary. Hope your move goes great and your family enjoys the new location from Australia while at work. Thank you so much. I'm fired up about this. I'm excited about this. I'm not excited. I mean, it's going to, like, putting together the office would be a lot of fun if I wasn't under a time constraint, but I'll still make it fun. What I'll end up doing is listening to a lot of live streams, other people's live streams, and watching a lot of classic Doctor Who. Going to watch a lot of fucking classic Doctor Who because it puts me in my happy place. Classic Doctor Who does. I got a whole shitload of it. But now I got a place to put these. These are brilliant. They're made by Gentle Giant. So I got a question for you guys. I'm probably going to do it anyway. I have been going back and forth on this, but I was thinking about putting up a video of why I'm leaving San Francisco. You guys all know, but not everybody watches the live streams. It would be short. I've actually recorded it a couple times and shit canned it because it ended up kind of angry at the end. I don't know if I should put it up or not, but I might. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I try to keep it to pop culture. It would be a very serious. It's not necessarily political. I mean, listen, I am ruled by Democrats here. Well, Democrats are considered kind of right here. We're also half the city council, I believe, is socialist. I think there might be a Marxist on the city council too. Wouldn't be surprised if there was. Chris Daly used to be on the city council. He was a Marxist. But yeah, I talk about like the stupid shit that this city does, and it's fucking stupid. But let me know. John Wayne drinks SJW tears for $5. San Francisco doesn't deserve such a great guy. Well, they don't deserve you, John Wayne. They don't. May you and your family find happiness wherever life takes you all. And remember that the best is yet to come. As long as I get out of here, yes, I feel bad for the people who can't just get up and leave. I am fortunate due to my hard work and the hard work of Mrs. Nerdrotic to be in a position to leave. Not everybody is. So if you're going to stay it out in San Francisco, you need to listen to me. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You want to be free. You don't want to, you know, what's going to happen is here's how it's going to go down. People are going to leave this city. They're going to defund the police. It's going to devalue all the property. The city's going to buy up the property. And all of a sudden, the city's running all of the housing, being a little, and that's what's going to happen to our cities unless the people within those cities vote these people out of office. And again, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You can't side with people who don't punish crime. You need to punish crime. I say that as a criminal who was punished. And there isn't a day that goes by that I don't know I deserved it. I had it coming. I broke the law. I'm lucky. I only did, well, it was still a lot of time, but I could have done more. And I could have got caught up in that system. And I just decided to wake up one day and I didn't feel like going back. But if you want to revisit the late 70s and 80s, and there might be some young people out there who don't know what American cities were like back then, they were shit. They're nice now, but Chicago's screwed. Minneapolis is screwed. Portland, Seattle. Seattle used to be a beautiful city. It's screwed. They're all gonna be Detroit within 2 years unless you vote those people out of office right fucking now. And I don't really give a shit listen, if you're so fucking partisan that you can't see past your own the nose on your own face, and you can't see what's happening to our country, if you think that somebody's just going to be able to flip a switch and we're going to have a system that's all to your liking overnight after we destroy everything, you're a fool. You are a fool. You don't just build a system overnight. Did we not learn anything from the Chaz? And if it's just about the goddamn orange man, grow the fuck up and get over it. Pretty much every president who's been in office, I didn't like. I got over it. I ended up liking some because I decided to, I don't know, wait and see what they did. And a lot of this bullshit is based on what people say, what the mainstream media says, what politicians say. It's time for California, San Franciscans to wake the fuck up. It's way past time because one party has ruled this city for decades. If you still have a problem with it, then you know where to go. One party has ruled the state for a long, long time. If you have a problem with it, you know where to go. And I'm talking about directly here. I don't know about the party in New Hampshire or I don't know. I'm just talking about California, San Francisco. The only reason the politicians were, at least Willie Brown, dude, at least that guy knew how to cut a deal. That guy wanted to make money. I respect that. He was your typical like sleazeball politician. I would take that over what we have now. This weird ideology as God politician. Like we are willing to sell out our constituents, our city, the businesses, everything for the almighty ideology, which is flawed. So I think it's really hard not to believe in conspiracy theories at this point. I think they're just becoming facts. But as far as San Francisco is concerned, it has just been by a miracle that we didn't have our own Chaz. I can't believe it didn't happen in Oakland either. Or Berkeley. It's probably because they all moved to Portland and Seattle. Sorry, Washington and Oregon. But at least, I mean, San Diego has changed too, but at least a good portion of San Diego is common sense. It's common sense. And yeah, it's something I didn't think I would say. Okay. As a nonpartisan person, while we're picking a place to move, we are not moving to any town that is run by Democrats right now. Not happening. Not until I see a big change. I've lived here fine for many, many years, but recently it's gotten very weird. And prior to the beer bug and prior to all this, again, you can't vape in San Francisco, but you can smoke pot and get your dick sucked and all kinds of crazy shit. You can poop on the street, but you can't vape. It's stupid. They tax the living hell out of you. Everything is expensive as hell. Food costs too much. And you know, those Jack Dorsey and his ilk at Twitter came here jacked up the rents. Hey, that was great for the property value until you ran everybody out and then abandoned everybody. Downtown used to be a fun place to go. Not anymore. So it's going to turn into a ghost town, just like all the other cities, just like all the other fucking cities. And you have it coming. So the mayors, like Mayor de Blasio in New York and London Breed here, and was it Gil Garcetti? Is that his name in LA? And the fucking idiot in Seattle, and the idiot in that guy in Portland's a fucking idiot. There's a point where the constituency becomes an idiot for living there and voting the guy in. At least I have a clean conscience. I didn't vote for London Breed, but I stayed here. And I didn't say enough. So that's on me. I'm leaving. I'm not going to leave the next place I go. The next place I go, next election, I am reading about everyone. I am going to know each person who is lording over me, because that's what they're doing right now, lording over me. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, but I mean, that was my big wake-up call. I was a little lazy, and I think a lot of us were, we were busy. All right. We were busy. We don't have enough time to read the election guides, which are way too packed up with. And I think we should separate when we elect people and then when we do our initiatives and stuff like that, so we can pay attention to the actual people we vote in office. For Christ's sake, they wanted 16-year-olds to vote in the city. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, it probably sounds great if you're 18 but like not when you're 51 and you know better. So these cities are going to become, Tim Pool is right. I mean, for the longest time, I thought he was a little hyperbolic, for lack of a better term, but he's fucking right. The kid's right. Get the fuck out of a city. So the mayors got drunk with power over this beer bug. And I think they are that fucking dumb. I think they actually thought that people would stay and put up with their shit. And now they're acting all fucking surprised that people are fleeing, to the point where in New York, they're begging for people to come back. I saw a video that reminded me, you ever see the movie Devil's Advocate? Remember the scene where it was Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino. Al Pacino's the devil. He's a lawyer. I fucking love that movie. But there's a scene where he walks out into New York City in the middle of the day and it's empty, and it's a creepy scene. It's got creepy music, and it's supposed to show you the power of the devil, that like he actually put him on a different plane. That's what New York looked like in this Twitter video that I saw. It was in the middle of a Saturday in Manhattan. It was fucking empty. De Blasio, is that his name? Had it coming. What a fucking moron that guy is. And look at how much New York had turned around. I was in New York in the late 70s. I was in New York in the early 80s. And I remember it was like the one time my dad was my dad didn't show a ton of affection. Again, I don't care. I'm over it. I love my dad. But it was the one time he was genuinely worried about me when we were walking around downtown New York. One of it was during that blackout in the 70s too. So New York has come a long way. I was just there last year. It was fucking awesome. It was brilliant. Yeah, it smelled a little bit like pee, but it didn't smell like pee and dead bodies like it did before. Yeah, the rats were kind of huge, but not as big as they were in the Joker movie. But it was okay. You couldn't pay me to go there now. Couldn't fucking pay me. I don't even want to visit a city. I am done with cities. Watching what's going on in Chicago, how that fucking mayor, I mean, if there isn't a better ad for do not vote for somebody just based on how they identify. By the way, sorry, those are the last people I'm going to vote for. If your entire existence is what you identify as, I am not voting for you. No matter what you identify as, I am not voting for you. Because the comic industry is a microcosm of the American populace right now. We had this opportunity to unite, for our institutions not to fail us, to actually do their fucking jobs, and to come together and put aside the partisan differences and just try to get our country through this, and then we can go back to bickering later. They couldn't even fucking do that. It immediately just turned into the next Orange Man is Bad story, and one side just used it as an opportunity to get rid of the Orange Man. Fuck the rest of you. Fuck my wife's business. Fuck your business. Fuck your kids' education. Fuck your kids' special needs education. We have a mission, and it's ideological. And we have to get rid of this boogeyman we fucking created, and they created it. Again, look at actions, not forget what everybody says. Look what they do. So here we are squabbling. A great economy going in the toilet. But I got to admit, the economy could be so much worse right now. And it's not. And why isn't it? Because of the federal government, not our state government. No, not our fucking state government, which is on the federal teat right now, because my state's in fucking debt. Somehow they're in debt. Silicon Valley is here. Hollywood is here. Major, we have a major bio industry here. Yet we're in debt because it was mismanaged by the assholes in Sacramento. This, for one, the state should be broken up into minimum 2, probably 3 parts, because Sacramento doesn't give a shit about SoCal. SoCal kind of runs itself, which is fine. And they just keep voting these people in over and fucking over again, mostly due to laziness, because we were in an affluent society. We're all going to have a lot of time to think about who we vote for this November, and forget the president. The president has very little to do with your direct life. The mayor of your town does. The city council members do. The governor does. Who's locking you down right now? Is it the Orange Man? Whose police department went out and killed somebody? Was it the Orange Man's, or was it Minneapolis's? So you want to get rid of him. By the way, yes, I did watch. I don't want to get into it here, but yes, I did watch. I watched Crowder's reaction to that. Highly recommend it if you want to go see that. By the way, hail Quarter Black Garrett from the Steven Crowder Show. He joined us on last Friday Night Tights. Did a great job. We're going to have him back regularly as much as we can, as much as he can show up. Quarter Black Garrett is going to be a regular thing on Friday Night Tights. We're going to try to get Kurt Metzger back. I am going to try to get Razor Fist on. I got to find a way to contact him, though, because his DMs aren't open, because he's smart. So where was I? Yeah, fuck the politicians, fuck the mainstream media, fuck Silicon Valley, who is trying to silence just a different, they silenced doctors. Why? Because of ideology. This has gone too far. I mean, it went too far a long time ago. I'm stating the fucking obvious. I know that. That's a lot of what I do here, but it's gone too fucking far. I, along with a lot of other people here, should not be moving from our homes right now at a great expense to us and to the poor people out there who have no fucking job, no way to fucking move, and they're stuck with these. The only thing you can do is vote them out. And I know it's going to take a long time, but like, seriously, that's the one thing you can do. If you can't leave, if you're stuck, then get a campaign going. Run for office yourself. Do something. Get these fuckers out of office. And you know what? I didn't create this situation. You didn't create this situation. And overall, our country didn't create this situation. And when we could have band together, we didn't. So now we have like 75 days in a row of fucking rioting up in Portland and other places in Chicago. And the mayors could stop this shit overnight. You know that, right? Look at how quick the Chad went down, or the chode. in Seattle when they really wanted to take it down. So they could stop this stuff whenever they want. Who is funding this? It's not like a bunch of people. Listen, I'm going to profile a little bit here. The kind of person who's going to go out and riot every single night doesn't have the kind of money to riot every single night. Where are they getting the money from? Who's helping them? Well, it's the mayor of Portland who keeps releasing these people. Yet, if my wife opened up her salon right now, they'd probably send the police to arrest her. When I saw the police arresting that man on the fucking beach down in Encinitas, on a beach I used to hang out with, it disgusted me. Give him a ticket, tell him to go away, tell him to wear a mask, whatever. I don't give a shit. Arresting the man, cuffing him in front of a bunch of people. See, yeah. So I'm not all rah-rah the police, but we still need them. We still need them. Don't arrest people on beaches. Why don't you arrest people burning down stores? No, you ran from that. But again, where is this happening? Is it in a red city? Are there any red cities? There probably is. I think San Diego might be one. I think it's a Republican mayor, but I don't know if it's a Republican city council. But how many big cities are red? Not many. We'll just say not many. But where is all the trouble happening? So how is it anybody else's fault? Well, it's not, obviously. Again, I know the answer. I can't wait to get out. And again, my heart goes out to anybody who can't. And this silent majority shit, we got to stop being silent. I mean, fact of the matter is, next place I go, I'm gonna fight for. And it sucks. I don't want to be fighting for anything when I'm 51. Not exactly in the prime. I guess I'm going to have to go work out. I'm going to have to train because it looks like we might have a fight on our hands, like a real one. It's time to acknowledge that at this point. I hope not. I think the chances are things are going to cool down eventually. But is the possibility out there for a legit fight? Yes. And we should I am going to prepare for it. And do what I can here. And what gives me hope is you guys. You guys give me hope. I see less and less every day, but I see the nonsense on Twitter, which is nothing. And it's losing its power, by the way. Thank God it finally went too far and it's bleeding users right now. And good. Looking forward to the hashtag Twitter is over party. Fuck Twitter. It's a notification machine for me right now. I'm on Parler. I feel way more free to say whatever the hell I want. Now I'm going to say it on Twitter anyway. And I'll let you guys know when I start my campaign to get really kicked off. So I will warn you because I'm going to say some pretty salty shit to get kicked off. Yeah, I saw in the super chat there, Camilla Harris. She was a DA here. She did nothing. She was the DA. I believe she was the DA. Yeah, she was the DA when that tourist got shot. The young lady got shot. And then the immigrant went free. Yep. John Bag of Donuts for $15. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step. Safe travels, my friend, and let us know when you finally land. Yeah, I will, and it's going to be a process that's going to take a while. It makes me think of, if I can get that. Where is it? The road goes ever on and on, down from the door where it began. Now far ahead, the road has gone, and I must follow if I can, pursuing it with eager feet until it joins some larger way, where many paths and errands meet, and whither then, I cannot say. George R. Martin is Tolkien's bitch. That's right. That's right. Funny business for $4.99. Dude, I am a store owner, 10 years. Every retailer event I went to, we gave Marvel and DC a hard time. Good. We were ignored. Good luck with your move, brother. Funny business. Yeah, I was part of, we might have run into each other at some point. Because I went to a retailer meeting 10 years ago. And yeah, they ignore us. But there wasn't enough of us because, unfortunately, the majority of store owners agreed with the SJWs and the MPCs. The vast majority of them did. Camilla got her DA job by sleeping with Slick Willie. Everyone around here knows that. Yep. She started dating him, and all of a sudden, DA. Sleeping to the top, says Eric K for $5. Well, you can't blame Slick Willie. Doctor Year One for $5 Australian. I hope you received the present I sent you before you go. I will make sure to go to the P.O. box before I go. I promise you I will. CJ for $9.99. Safe travels, Gary. As the peaceful protesters stated, burn it all down. When it comes to DC and Marvel, they did this to themselves, and I have zero empathy, and I agree with you. They brought this on themselves, just like Portland brought this on themselves in Seattle. As a matter of fact, that's who Marvel and DC want to sell their comics to, is the people in the Chaz or the Chode or whatever it's called, or the people rioting in Portland. Problem is they're spending all their money rioting and looting right now. Again, where's that fucking money coming from? Why aren't we stopping that? Now, listen, there is an argument to be made, and I agree with this argument, that you just kind of, as long as it's focused on a federal building and it's happening in Portland, again, apologies to anyone who's in Portland who doesn't agree with this shit, but it's a walking, living commercial for the Orange Man. Every day they're out there rioting and looting. It's a commercial for the Orange Man. You would not believe the shit I have heard from hardcore ride or die liberals here in this city saying they're going to vote for the Orange Man. Entrenched members of the alphabet community are going to vote for the Orange Man in San Francisco. That's what this has done. So I guess keep doing it. Just don't bring it here. Seattle business owners. I can't believe none of these mayors have had. There's no attempt to recall any of these mayors. So you can't feel sorry for these people. Thank you, CJ, for the $9.99. Exploding Prinny for $5. I'm bummed about DC Direct. I am too, dude. I hope someone like Sideshow picks up the bombshells. I love those statues. Got a room full of them. Yeah, they're brilliant. No, DC Direct is brilliant. I'm sorry to see him go. Sideshow's it now. Really? Larry, thank you for the phallic unicorn for $1.49. Appreciate you. Read Palentia for $20 Australian. Management is efficiency in climbing the ladder of success. Leadership determines whether the ladder is leaning against the right wall. Stephen Covey. It appears we do not even know what the wall is. Good show. Why, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Man of War 665 for $5. Go not west, young man. Exactly. I am heading east. And I ain't going back to Cali. I don't think so. Annie Shikma. Welcome to the Jalodja level. I welcome you. We have 7 new members. That's awesome. Savage Rush 012 for $5. Manga has overtaken Western Comics, and the nut jobs are going after the medium next. Yes, they are. But manga it's over. The fight is over. it destroyed the American superhero comic. It's doing it much better. Christopher Gorey for $9.99. Good luck during this time, Gary. If the Nerdrotic family eventually lands in Texas, let us know. The Lone Star State will treat you right. Christopher, aka the Good Reverend. We are. God bless Texas. God bless Texas. Yeah, I never thought I'd move there, but you know what? Life comes at you fast. That's part of. That's one of the things I'm kind of the most proud of. I don't do a lot of things right. I'm a very fallible human. Make a lot of mistakes. I try to learn from them. But I know when to get the fuck out. I know when it's time to go. I've always had a decent sense of getting the hell out of some place before it falls apart, or usually it's a job. But I mean, we could have sit around and credit to Mrs. Nerdrotic. We could have sat around and like, maybe this will blow over. Like, fuck no. I'm not waiting for this to blow over. This could blow over in like a year. Fuck that. I'm gone right now. Like, that was it. And you know, it's bad like when your parents agree with you on something. Like her dad was like, yeah, get out of there. He didn't agree with shit for us. But yeah, no. Hail to the chat. You are all amazing. And you are. You are. And thank you, Gary. Good journey on your move. Be safe. We need you Friday. I'll be safe. I will be here Friday. Friday Night Tights is happening. $25. Thank you, Culture Casino. Thank you, my friend. Check out his channel too. By the way, how the subs doing, Culture? We need to get you to 1,000. Elena Christine, welcome to the proto-molecule level. I thank you, Elena. Welcome. Sam Whiskey for $4.99. Hey, Gary, Kamala Harris is a real-life Amanda Waller. DC Comics sucks now. Sad. Enjoy the move. You know what? That's disrespectful to Amanda Waller. She was evil, but she was smart. Kamala Harris is as dumb as a bag of hammers. So, you know what? I heard this today. She's the Democratic Sarah Palin. But at least Sarah Palin was kind of hot, you know? I mean, I don't think Sarah Palin is as bad as Kamala Harris, to be honest with you. But yeah, knowing what I know now, yeah. Captain Spire for $2. Safe journey, Gary. Home is where the family is. You're right. You're right. And Captain Spire, thanks for the coffee, buddy. Thank you. Caffeinated. Canadian Highlander for 5 Canadian pesos. Good luck to you and your family, Gary. Safe travels. Here's some coffee money for your travels. Why, thank you. Thank you. I could use some coffee right now. Getting hungry. Mad Cat 15 for $5. You the man. We'll be here for you. Please stream as much as you can. We will all hope that everything works out for you, brother. It will. No, this is good. This is a good thing. Getting out of here is good. Staying here would be bad. I want to get my son out of here as fast as possible, but he's got to stay and kind of watch the fort. But if things get really bad, I'll just make him come down with us. But he's an adult, so I can't tell him what to do. Well, I can still kick his ass too. I don't care how tall he is. R. Fletch for $5. Gas money for Gary. Thank you. Thank you. I'll need it, man. It's like $4 a gallon right now, I think. The Maxer 03 for $4.99. Gary, you should consider moving to southern Utah. There is no snow. Beautiful scenery. It is closer to Vegas, and it's a red state. It is. It is. I was shocked to hear that there was protesting in Utah. What's that about? Is it because of the colleges? Southern Utah is a possibility. Okay. I love the Monument National Forest. It's freaking brilliant. Midnight said, Tom, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Dinner for you and the fam when you get settled. Thank you, Tom. You're not supposed to be doing that. Thank you for the $50. We had, hang on. There it is. 80 Canadian pesos. Hail, Gary. Been listening to you steadily over the last 12 months. Finally got a new job after being laid off in March. Yes. Good. Good. So here's a retroactive payment for all the great work. Keep it up, brother. Thank you. Stonewall 67. I'm happy you got a job. A lot of people have gotten their jobs back. Again, who do we have to thank for that? Kamala Harris? No. Joe Biden? No. Who's keeping the business going right now? Why is the mainstream media not talking about it at all? And there is Jaleel Kawas. Jaleel Kawas. Hail, my friend. What's up, Gary? And a San Francisco native here. Happened upon your channel a few months back and been watching you and the other guys since. A little something for your move. Keep it going, dog. Hopefully going to Vegas in December. Late. Jaleel, I hope to see you in Vegas. Please make it to Vegas. Now, Jaleel, email me at gary@nerdrotic.com if you're local. I'll be back in the area once in a while to pick up stuff. Maybe we can go get some coffee. Thank you, my friend. I truly appreciate you. See, there's good people in San Francisco. They can change this place. You know, the funny thing is, and it's not that funny, most people have a lot in common. It's those little things that they like to separate us. And the mainstream media is the worst. The access media is the worst. Hollywood has done it. They've played their part in dividing us. And that's why we should really show them how much we appreciate that with our wallets. When Hollywood comes with a fucking handout because they're going to need some more government money for a bailout, for more pretend, we can kindly tell them to fuck off unless they change their ways. And I hope to God that the administration really presses hard on any company that does business with Winnie the Pooh. Truxin for $50. Stay safe and get out of the shithole, sir. I will. Quarter Black Garrett, I was just talking about you, man. Gary, I'm uploading my first video on Thursday. Check it out. I want your thoughts. Good luck on the move. I'd help, but shut up. Quarter Black Garrett, thank you for the $5. I will watch your video and let you know. And everybody subscribe to Quarter Black Garrett. He, of course, is, let's face it, everybody watches Louder with Crowder for Quarter Black Garrett. He's the person that makes this show go. Steven Crowder, he's okay. He's an okay talent. He's kind of a funny guy, but Quarter Black Garrett is the man. Okay. He dresses up as Mr. T. Narutaku-kan for $25. I'm a Bay Area native and a couple of years younger than you. Relocated to Tennessee a year ago. You'll miss it every day. I do, but life is better here and every possible metric. One door closes, another opens. A new chapter, life goes on. Hail! If you're a native of a place where you grow up, you miss it every day. I get that, Narutaku-kan. Every day I've been up here, I miss San Diego. San Diego is a great town. The weather is great. The people are generally chill. You can park for free. The buses don't cost a fortune. There isn't shit all over the street. There's beautiful beaches. There's beautiful women everywhere. And the towns are nice. The food is pretty good. San Francisco food, overrated in my opinion. And San Diego has the food of the gods, carne asada burritos. Okay, carne asada burritos. Now, I heard the Tex-Mex is good. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. But you're not wrong. Like, I have missed San Diego every day I lived up here. So, Sporking News Podcast for $5. Safe travels, Gary and fam. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to get back up here. I had to get those biggins. There's Larry. Mac Richardson for $10. The comic book industry is going to have to die to rid itself of the SJW cancer. Here's a little help getting you and your family to a saner place. Safe travels. Cheers. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is. It needs to get rid of everyone at this point. If I'm DC, I don't get rid of the comic books. I have a come to Jesus, yes, Jesus moment with everybody there, and I'm real with it. And the thing is, they don't address the real fucking problem. Nobody talks about it except for your boy Zach for years, Ethan Van Sciver, John Malin, yours truly, Jeremy Geeks and Gamers, Clownfish TV. We talk about the partisan politics and the insane leftism that has completely screwed up the comic book industry with its just irrational hatred towards a president who will be voted out of office someday. Not anytime soon, thanks to their best efforts. And you've just killed an industry. So you came in all cocksure of yourself, especially the ladies, going, we're going to change this thing, because the future is female and we're going to make comics better. And what they did was they dumbed comics down, and now they're dumbing it down some more when they didn't need to. Comics were great. All you had to do was have some women read some good comics, and they would have liked them just as much as the dudes. Yeah. Were they slanted towards guys? Yes, because it was a boy's hobby for the vast majority of its existence. And guess what? It still is. Women, for the most part, do not like comic books. They do not buy them habitually. They don't go to the store once a week. I tried my entire 10 years at the shop to get my subscriber base to 50%, and I failed. I got it to 30%, but that's because I tried, and I really tried. And it turns out men and women are just different. Yes, of course, there are women who love comics passionately, but tell me, how many women comic collectors do you know that have 10,000 books, that CGC all their books? How many? How many women do you know that collect vinyl, that have 10,000 records at their house? Probably none. Probably none. Even the women who are into comics, they don't collect to the numbers that dudes do. I'm guessing in this country, the number is probably, and I'm talking about hardcore comic collectors where you have long boxes filling up a garage or something like that. The number of female comic collectors who have their books CGC'd is in this entire country is probably under 5,000. Probably a lot less, probably 1,000 in a country of 331 million people. There's probably 1,000 women who collect comics like hardcore. I honestly thinking, I owned a store. I went to conventions, and I might have met a couple. Now, maybe there was a bunch more and we just didn't talk about it. And I'm not talking about a couple of long boxes. I'm talking about a real collector. I'm talking about a minimum of 25 long boxes. And I'm sorry, that's minimum. That's minimum. A real collector to me, 50 long boxes, 100 long boxes. You have at least a short box full of CGC, graded books. Thanks again, Sporkin News, for $5. Mr. Insanity for $4.99. Here's a little gas money to help you out with the move. Thanks, Mr. Insanity. I hope your life is a little less insane, Mr. Healthcare worker out there in the insanity. I saw that data out there that, there's more women getting into comic books. Well, sure, they like superheroes and they buy t-shirts and they buy tchotchkes. So yes, there's most definitely more women into comic books. When I was at Comic-Con last year, it was a 50-50 split. Dudes, both genders were there, male and female. Both genders were there. And it was pretty close to a 50-50 split. Now, the women are there for TV shows, again, for the tchotchkes. They're not there for comic books. And guess what? A lot of the dudes aren't either, to be honest with you. But, and listen, I know there's more Marvel MCU fans now than there is Marvel comic book fans. New to comics, where you recommend I start? Polaris sucks for 2 Canadian pesos. Hang on a second. I'll show you. I can probably reach it. Got to get my headphones off. Here you go. Start with Marvels. This thing's awesome. It's big. You don't have to get the big book. There's a little trade you can get. All right. Jesus, my shoulder's not good right now. Oh, wrong plug. Hang on. All right, that's better. Also, you can get Kingdom Come, although it's Mark Waid. I would start with that or Justice. But Marvels is always a good gateway. It's kind of an overview of the Marvel universe in the 60s. Very, very good. Or I would start Batman Year One and enjoy the ride. I would get trades of older stuff though. I can't really recommend a ton of stuff that's come out in the last 10 years. Well, 6 years. There's some good stuff that's come out, in the mid-aughts. But it's too open of a question. So when somebody used to come in my store and say, "Hey, I've never collected comic books. Where do I start?" First thing I would ask you is, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite TV show? You tell me those two things, I can direct you towards a comic book that you would like. If you don't like superhero books, I would pick up Transmetropolitan, Preacher, Fables, The Invisibles. Those are all good. Planetary, loved Planetary. That was a great great comic book. Keaton Smith, thank you for the super sticker for 99 cents. Zrem, thank you for the $9.99 in the super sticker. I think it's Zrem. It's XREM. Zrem. Cash Kester for $5. We appreciate the live streams. You're one of the people that helped me stay sane during all of this, both Phantom Menace and CG. Hail to you and all the chat. Hail to you. Listen, I know some people in CG don't like the Phantom Menace. I don't know why. I think we're perfectly charming. And I don't know. Is there anybody I don't like in CG? No, I like everybody in CG. There's people who've broken off that, not my cup of tea, but they're not worth even mentioning. San Francisco will miss you, dude. Always wanted to meet you. I live in Nob Hill. Oh man. Imperium Crypt for $5. Well, on my second trip, maybe I'll do a little meetup. We can meet at Pete's, have a coffee. There's not a lot of places to hang out though. That's what sucks. I would love to do like a going away thing, but I can't. Jake D for $5. And thanks for the $5, Imperium Crypt, and enjoy Nob Hill while you can. Little gas money for the Nerdmobile. Can't wait for your Umbrella Academy and Picard videos. Thank you for your mentoring. Oh, you're welcome, Jake D. Anytime for the $5. Yes, the Picard video is going to be my highest priority when I get back. That'll be probably the first video I'll probably, you're going to get, again, Tim Pool style videos, right? That's what you're going to get. I don't want to say low tier content because it's not. It's not going to be my usual editing. It'll be me, one cut, giving you a reaction on something, and it'll go back to normal in September. I'm not really concerned about views per video this month. If you guys really want to know, it's going to be more like views per channel. I want my channel views up. So I'll just probably cut a couple of videos a day, maybe even a car video. Thanks, Jake D. Poseidon 25. Thank you for becoming a member at the Joloja level. Now, Rutaku-ken, thank you again for the $25. Armando Armando De Erico for 5 Canadian pesos. Here's some gas station sushi money for the move. Oh God, I don't eat seafood, but thank you. I'll get a corn dog. I'll get a gas station corn dog. I don't like seafood. Yes, I grew up in California. I've always lived within 10 miles of the ocean, and I hate seafood. Psycho Dwarf for $5. Psycho Dwarf 9. Fair winds and following sea. Catch you on the backside. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. It's good to see you, Psycho Dwarf. Rob Atlas for $5. Good luck. Don't worry. We'll be here waiting for you. Thanks, man. I always worry. Sam Whiskey for $1.99. Nerdrotic. What year did comics go pulp free? 2000. It had to be early 2000s. 2001 or 2. I think some comics were still doing it. No, it had to be the late 90s, or it had to be 2000. I don't know. I'll have to look. Well, I'm not going to be able to Google that. My guess is very early 2000s. I think they were pretty much pulp free when I. No. Transmetropolitan was still coming out when I bought my store. So it had to be 04 or 5, something like that. That'd be my guess. Sung, Rianne, shut up. You don't have a dyad. Let's turn our eyes to Gavin's mailbag. I want to touch it. An excuse to drop $5. Thank you, Modalicious. You're really weird and we like you. Thank you for the $5. I have no idea what that meant. Reverend Ralph Waldo for $6.66. The super chat of the beast. Hail, Gary and chat. Your internet family has your back. We love you and your work. Blessings to you and the family. Hail. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Apolemi's Minium for $2. I finally got the gift I'm going to send to you. Wow. Well, thanks. I don't know if I deserve it. Apolemi's Minium, but thank you. Quarter Black Garrett. What's up? All right. I'm going to check out. I want to see this. If there's any new news on. Yeah, this is crazy. We'll do this and finish up the super chats and call it a night. And again, I'm going to be streaming randomly throughout the week, but this is indeed the last live stream sitting down on Nerdrotic from this studio. This is it. I'm leaving San Francisco. I'm pissed off that my wife was forced to shut her fucking business down. I'm resetting, by the way. That the mayor did nothing but fuck us over. And we are not the victim types. We're not going to sit down and take it, though, when we're being lorded over by morons and idiots and partisan hacks who care more about their party than they do about the people. Am I surprised? Did I expect any different? I would have liked to, but unfortunately I didn't. And the Democratic leadership here in San Francisco met all of my expectations, and they no longer get my sympathy, or they no longer get my understanding. That is done. As far as local California politicians, and you're blue, I know what to expect from you, and you will never get my vote until you fucking turn around and you show that you're actually about the people. But I'm guessing you're not. See, that's the thing. I know what the guys in red, the Republicans are. I know they at least want to make money. Now, of course, the whole narrative out there is anybody who is even anyone who lets a Republican in their house is considered a racist. If you're even considerate to a Republican or nice, you're considered racist. And now white supremacy is thrown around like it's just a normal thing, like it really exists. And it's just, you see how easily that was accepted by everybody in Hollywood, everyone in the BBC, all the mainstream media. And now I was watching the fucking Hugo Awards, and these know-nothing morons who are winning awards they didn't deserve for books they didn't sell more than 5 fucking copies, who weren't even from this country, were calling all of us white supremacists. And then we got this. The Boys showrunner Eric Kripke claims the white dudes standing next to you are the most dangerous people. Really? Well, Eric, I'm pretty sure you're a white dude. So that statement right there just lost you tens of thousands of viewers. The Boys showrunner Eric Kripke recently discussed the upcoming second season of the Amazon show based on Garth Ennis's and Derek Roberts' comic book series. In the interview, Screen Rant, Kripke was asked, in season 2, there's the supervillain terrorists all over the world that have been activated by Homelander. However, you never really get the sense they're more dangerous than their characters. Can you talk to me a little bit about this dynamic? Creators. You never really get a sense they're more dangerous than their creators. Well, he answered, yeah. It's a great question. We really were interested in exploring the idea of authority figures getting the public really riled up with xenophobia and racism. But ultimately, the most dangerous people are the white dudes standing next to you. We wanted to reflect that story. So the supervillains are, in a way, a misdirect. Just as a reminder, in the first season, The Boys, the 7 included Translucent, Black Noir, A-Train, Starlight, Queen Maeve, The Deep, and Homelander. There were 3 white men on the team in Homelander, the Deep and Translucent. A-Train is black. It's unclear what Black Noir's race, as he never takes off his mask. Starlight and Queen Maeve are both white women. Well, Black Noir is probably white. The Boys executed Translucent in the first season. He's expected to be replaced by a gender-swapped Stormfront. It also appears that the Deep might get sidelined from the team as well. Kripke then claims that part of season 2 was inspired by real-world events when a caravan of Central American immigrants attempted to illegally enter the United States of America. He continued, he wrote it at the time of the travel ban. If you remember, the caravan, the caravan that were going to come over the border and rape all the white women, that's what he says. We were in that world, and the way that the authority figures were drumming up fear in these outsiders was disgusting, frankly. Well, no, not, listen, we all understand that the vast majority of people wanting to come to this country are just pure as the driven snow. No, you know what? A lot of people just want to come here for a better opportunity. I get it. I do. And, I don't think every single person who comes over the border is evil. Quite the opposite. They're probably just regular people wanting to get the hell out of their country that's corrupt. But the thing is, I think it's in everybody's best interest to maybe make the countries less corrupt. Now they have to fix that for themselves. We're not the world police, and we can't take care of everybody. We can't. I'm sorry. I'd love to. Maybe we're in a better position. We can do that. There's a lot of things we can do. But you know what? The Boys isn't going to fix that problem. Eric Kripke, a person who writes pretend, isn't going to fix that problem. And The Boys, the series, puts a mirror up to society anyway, and Garth Ennis does it much better. And The Boys is just going to end up being woke. And season 1 wasn't woke. And I'm worried that, well, I'm not worried. This is what shows are going to be now. Season 1 is going to be pretty normal, try to lure everybody in. And then season 2, once they get you, they're going to feel like it's almost like Doctor Who. They had one good episode. They had one popular episode, and they felt like, well, we've got a mandate. So The Boys has one hit season. That's the idiocy of Hollywood. You know, it took Game of Thrones years to become a watercolor show. Oh, it took a while. So it didn't fuck with its audience. It didn't fuck with its fundamentals. It stayed the same. Now The Boys has one good season. We're going to go woke as hell and change a bunch of shit from the comic books, which they already did. So they're going to double down. Of course, we'll never hear what the numbers actually are, but I'm guessing a lot of people aren't going to watch The Boys now because of this. That's a racist statement, by the way. It's not. I mean, but they're making it okay. You see, every time a Hollywood guy says this, and listen, yeah, things were fucked up in the 60s. Yeah, there was a lot of fucked up things. A lot of us who are living now weren't alive then. We weren't guilty of those things, and we're not going to pay for crimes of our descendants or perceived crimes. But that's what's going on. That's what they expect to happen. So it's okay to be racist. You don't think this is going to have, you don't think constantly calling out white dudes and making white dudes a boogeyman is not going to lead to something really fucking horrible? Then you're an idiot. You're a fool and you didn't learn from history. So when all's said and done, I'm going to paraphrase here from the 12th Doctor. When all the fighting's done, we're eventually going to have to sit down and talk and try to work shit out. It's better that we do that now than after the fight when a bunch of kids are dead. Because what Eric Kripke is complicit in is building a false narrative based on one line from the president that was misinterpreted, and it's disingenuous. See, I don't like everything anybody says all the time, but to constantly run with something when it's just flat out not true. It goes beyond disingenuous. It becomes propaganda, and you become part of the problem. And that's why we have this shit going on, because we have a lot of people who only half and quarter pay attention to shit, and they're believing everything you're feeding to them. And you're fine, Eric Kripke. While everybody's struggling right now, you're making your little pretend TV show and getting fucking rich. How about we make Eric Kripke poor so he knows what's up? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with making Eric Kripke poor. And I used to respect the guy until he said that. Well, that's one less show I'm going to watching. By the way, that's super intimidating, huh? I mean, did she even fucking work out for the role? She looks like soccer mom, not storefront. By the way, she's going to be cucking the hell out of Homelander. I mean, look at those 9-inch pythons. The Motley, 1969 for $5. Good luck. Thank you. Unfortunately, I have to drive through LA. Sam Whiskey, thank you for the super sticker for 99 cents. Fred W. Monzo for $9.99. Good luck on your big move. Have you decided on a final destination? No. It's between 3 or 4 places: Arizona, Southern Utah, Texas, and then there's an outlier. But we'll have to see. Not moving to a blue state, not moving to I was going to live in New Mexico for the longest time. I was going to live in New Mexico, but New Mexico's blue. I love it there. Oh, it's beautiful. My mom lives there. My sister lives there. One of my moms lives there. My other mom lives in San Diego. I have 2 moms. Long story. They're not lesbians. Hail Gary, it looks like Nerdrotic is going nomadic. Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, indeed. Good luck on the big move again. But Fred, yeah, it's looking like San Antonio, Texas is on the top of our list. Nerdrotic, Texas is a good place to live. I love Austin and it's great. I won't live in Austin. I've never seen Kurtzman Trek. Is it worth a try? Lane Kramer for $5. Ask yourself this: is punching yourself in the face worth a try? Because if punching yourself in the face And then, on top of that, give yourself a little smack in the balls. Then Kurtzman Trek is worth a try. No, it's not worth a try. Don't even waste your time. It's god awful. Watch old Trek again. Watch Umbrella Academy season 1. That's good. Watch The Venture Brothers. That's good. Dark City's good. I'm looking at my Blu-rays. Watch The Hitchhiker's Guide. That's good. That's good shit out there. There's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good old stuff. You don't need to watch anything new ever again. Actual Records, 33 1/3 RPMs. Actual Records, R. Fletch, for damn straight, for $5. Oh no, I didn't mean you sound discouraged. Just wanted to say, keep your head up during the move with all the logistics. Buck, oh, thanks, Buck. You didn't have to say it's okay. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, I'm so not discouraged. Actually, there's I like a challenge. Complacency is death to me. So I love a good challenge, and this is a challenge. I've got to tear all this down and put it all back up in 2 weeks. You can do it. All the best, Gary. I'm moving out of New York City myself, says Michael Brown. Good. Get the fuck out of there, dude. And Cecil, get out of there. Get out of New York, dude. Imperium Crypt for $5. I'm glad Isotope is staying. RIP Two Cats Comics. Yeah, Two Cats. I'm sorry to see them go. Christian was cool. You think Mission Comics will stick around? As long as there's PPP money, but Leaf is a nice guy. But honestly, I don't see him surviving not on his business model, which is, again, new releases, graphic novels, kind of the artsy fartsy stuff. He might be able to, if he does the Scholastic thing. If he becomes a bookstore and not a comic store, yes, he can survive. James will survive because James Sim at Isotope will be successful in whatever he does because he is a true entrepreneur. I'm surprised he doesn't make content on YouTube. He'd be fucking great on YouTube. Scott Williams for $5. I'd suggest moving to Alabama, but it's just good that they all get the folk out of California. Stay safe. Hey, the South, it could be an option. It's not something I've thought about very much because I like the Southwest. I really do, but you never know. Recently escaped Jersey. We've been nuked by woke mafia across the shorelines. Join a militia. I'll be praying for you safely. Happiness and success, brother. I might have to actually join a militia. Thank you, Sefty off for $20. See, I can go get a pardon. I would probably get, like, Gavin Newsom would probably give me a pardon. I still can't get a gun, though. Those rights are long gone. Love guys from the 1960s. My husband's from 68, says Agent Pepsi 1 for $2. Hail, Agent Pepsi 1. He's a year older than I am. That's right. I was born. The Beatles were still together when I was born. Maxim Bestretch. And thank you, Agent Pepsi 1. It's good to see you here. For 5 Canadian pesos. What do you think will happen to Superman, Batman, etc. in comics? Will we get stories still? Yes. I think they're going to probably farm them out, but I think eventually it's just going to go to reprints. Long time no talk to, man. Oh, Matt McCoy. What's up, buddy? What's up, Matt? For $20. Glad to see you are moving on to better things. I have a house in El Paso. Text me when you're moving to, if you get close, we'll shoot. We should hang out again. Enjoy, my friend. You deserve it. Matt, I worked with Matt. Matt's awesome. An old punk rock singer. Dude, you're in Texas now. Yes. I will. Yes, I will. If your phone number is the same, I will text you. Galberto Chavez for $4.99. Thank you, Galberto. No comment, just a donation. Thank you. Michael King for $4.99. I'm 50 as well. My 14-year-old daughter reads manga, loves classic Star Wars, Darth Vader, and classic Scooby-Doo. She has very good taste. You have done well as a father. You have done well. Cliff 3188 for $4.99. Getting woke was eventually going to kill the industries it infested. The coup just accelerated the process. Good luck on your move, Gary. You are not wrong. The coup just accelerated. That's it. Best of luck, dude. I wish I was leaving LA too. Gilberto Chavez for $4.99. At least you can maybe go on the outskirts of LA. Like, there's parts that are still like tolerable out there, but LA is bad right now. Bad. Logan Holmberg for 10 Canadian pesos. Gary, I want to get back into X-Men, but 2018, and it looks like crap. Was thinking of starting with 2004 and go on. Good idea. No, I was a fan of the 80s and 90s stuff, but I hated what Onslaught did to the books. Yeah, I fucking hated Onslaught too. That's what backed me out of the X-Men. But actually, the X-Men is very, very good from get on Grant Morrison's run to 2010. It's very, very good. Non-stick pansexual for $5. Doesn't matter how good the stories are. It's about whose fingerprints are on them. Producers are ego maniacs. You're absolutely right. No, story schmories. They just want their name attached, and they have to do something to get their name attached, and it's usually something fucking stupid. And I'm talking about Hollywood. So Ruin of House Roundhead for $10. Where are you moving to? Also, I saw Empire Strikes Back in the drive-in theater last Saturday. I thought about Solo and the sequel trilogy a little bit while watching it, unfortunately. Same here. Last time I watched Empire, I thought about fucking Last Jedi. I did. I'm moving possibly to right now I'm moving to San Diego County. All right. So I'm moving to San Diego County temporarily for a few months while I get the fuck out of I had to get out of San Francisco immediately because Melissa has some work down in San Diego and she has no work here. And we are going to go from there, and I'm going to scout out 4 places, and within 6 to 9 months, we're out of California for good. But we have to get near the family. My mom is ill right now, and Melissa's dad is not doing very well. So I want to be near to my mom right now. And then hopefully when she gets her health back, cross your fingers. She went back in the hospital today. Unfortunately, she just got out. She went to the emergency room, right after Friday Night Tights a week ago. She's back in now. She'll be all right. They're just checking her out, but yeah, I got to be near my mom right now. And then we're going to pick her up once her health is back and take her with us. So big Bear Nerd Fun. What's up, man? How's it going? Thank you for the super sticker for 99 cents. Good to see you. Check out his channel. Senorita Popeltine. Senorita Popeltine for $4.99. Hail, Gary. A little coffee money for the road. What is best in life? What is best in life? To see your enemies driven before you. To crush your enemies. See them driven before you. And hear the lamentation of the women. Perfect study break, Gary. Calexodus is going well. Why did I say Calexodus? Calexodus is going well. I was thinking, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Not thinking. Stargate 404, thank you for the $2. Gawkers and Death Rattle for 5 Canadian pesos. Long time no see. If Gen X has earned condemnation, it'll be because we created social media. We will surely burn for unleashing that blight or the land. You're right. Coffee money for your travels, JPRPH1 for $14.99. Thank you for the very generous $14.99. Thank you, Gawkers. Good to see you again. Foul Ball Productions for $9.99. Hail, Gary. A little bit for the move. Love you, bud. Love you too. No homo. Maybe a little homo. WLT. Welcome to the Proto Molecule level. We got 8 new members. That's brilliant. I will be giving you a member stream this week. I just don't know when. I tried to do it today and I couldn't because I had a video to make. I don't know how well it's going to. I don't care. I was so mad about the DC Comics thing. You think I would be happy, but I ended up just getting mad. Destiny Captain $4.99. Gary, did you know that in the 70s, John Buscema did art for some Star Trek audio dramas that were packed in LP and read along Comic Power Records? I wasn't aware it was John Buscema, but I own them. So yes, Thank you, Destiny Captain. Power Records are the shit. They were great. Oh my God, the Spider-Man one. The Spider-Man one. Mark of the Man-Wolf. Mark of the Man-Wolf is so good. J. Jonah Jameson's son. It's my son. Congrats on your move out of the left coast. You're doing right. First beer, root beer, on me when you're rolling through Arizona. Stephen Mauler for $5. Hell yeah. And Arizona's a possibility. It is. Red Wolf Corp revamped for $20. If the it's the zombies who are going about the rioting. You know, the generation growing up on Twitter, Vine, and TikTok, the generation fully indoctrinated by schools to cuddle up to their tasty teat of mainstream establishment narrative. Yes. But a lot of those zombies look old. They don't look young to me. Like that, those moms, that bullshit moms things. Well, maybe they're young and they're just out of shape. They look like they were all like 50. Maybe I'm wrong. Fiat money is the root of SJW cancel culture. Buy BTC. Says Vake for $1.99. Fiat money, fiat currency is bullshit. Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Gold, buy gold. WLT for $5. You are speaking truth tonight, brother. Thanks for helping me keep me sane since the bug insanity. You are welcome. Hey, the bug's real. The bug's real. For the most part, it's not going to kill you. We didn't need to fully shut down society. We could have come up with a plan where we kept society going while keeping the most vulnerable safe. But instead, we fought, we bickered, and that was not us. It was our institutions. And this proves that we are on our own. We cannot rely on our government for anything. And when I'm complaining about our government, I'm complaining about the government that has direct power over me, my state government. The federal government is not supposed to overlord over me. My state government is, and they utterly failed. Gavin Newsom failed. Gavin Newsom was never going to work with the president. Neither were any other of the blue governors. They or the mayors. They were never going to work with the president. They absolutely refused to. And the same can't be said about the Orange Man. I think he would have worked with some of the governors, but they would have never worked with him. So who's to blame on that one? The prejudiced party over people, ideology over people. Fuck that. On both parties, fuck that. People need to come first. They obviously don't right now. Right now, ideology is more important than you and me. It's not fucking money. No, they're actually losing money. Hollywood is complicit on this and they're losing their ass. They're going to lose big time. But I believe there's a big promise that if you help get rid of the president, we'll bail your asses out. Fuck that. I don't know what they're going to bail their asses out with. Tax money? Post your edgier, angrier stuff directly to Parler, says Jello Flicks for $2. Oh, I will. But for a little while, it's going to be on Twitter just to get kicked off. Will Warwick, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get kicked off, though. I'll try. For $5. Live free, brother. I love your move. Take your taxes elsewhere. What can I do to get good comics and manga? Oh man, just ask the chat, Will. If you're in the chat, there's at least 20 people in this chat who know their manga shit. Just go, what's good manga? There'll be suggestions right now. It'll happen right now. Berserk is good manga. Phil B, welcome to the proto-molecule level. Eddie Sens, thank you for the $9.99. You should seriously consider New Braunfels, Texas. It's a chill town with a bunch of rivers. The best water park in the world between San Antonio and Austin. Ooh, I will consider that. Phil B, for 5 Canadian pesos. Live as if you're going to die tomorrow. Learn as if you would live forever. Ooh, that's a good. Whose line is that? I like that. Ken Kersey for $5. For your move, you should check out St. George, Utah, smaller city, super red area near Vegas. Beautiful desert area. If Vegas wasn't, okay, Vegas would be a real contender if it wasn't blue. I can't believe Vegas went blue. Mark C for $5. So glad you're moving and to a place with decent food. Fuck yeah. Jim Dingler for $42. But listen, but you won't have carne asada burritos. Maybe I'll bring them with me. Jim Dingler for $42. The answer to life, the universe, and everything isn't just 42. It has to include and the whole Nerdrotic clan. Happy trails. We'll be watching one day at a time. God bless. Thank you, Jim. God bless to you, my friend. 42. I live in Seattle, cannot move, and I've never been more afraid. This is Darth Gorbag. By the way, Darth Gorbag, longtime listener, good person, and I hate to hear this for 1010. I'll read this slow because it deserves it. I live in Seattle, cannot move, and I've never been more afraid. I used to have TDS, but as soon as the city council said they want to abolish police, I became a Trump supporter. Fuck this city. Darth Gorbag, is there anywhere you can go? Family, anything? Are you completely stuck? I hope there's a silent majority there that votes those fucking idiots out of office. I heard they were trying to recall the mayor. I don't know where it went, though. Bear Nerd Fun says, Gary, on Pluto TV app, there's a Doctor Who channel free, channel 370. Most Samsung TVs have the app. Android watching Tom Baker episodes, Talons of Wang Chang. Hail. That's brilliant. I own them all, but yeah, if there's an app that I can watch them or I can listen to them when I'm on the road, hell yeah. Thanks, Bear Nerd Fun, for $5. Check that out, everybody. Pluto TV is free, and it's got all the classic Doctor Who. Steve Mueller for $5. Want to see how bad these cities really are? Download the Citizen app and see how residents are responding to police scanner feeds. Mind-blowing. Well, I don't think, honestly, what Steve Mueller suggests, you absolutely should download the Citizen app. It is a must-have if you live in a big city. It is a must-have. I have downloaded it. Crispy Mofo, welcome to the Geloja level. Yikes, dude, for $5. Doesn't California also have state tax? Yes, it does, and I just paid it. Emmanuel Nazon, thank you for becoming a member at the Geloja level. Brandon DeJong for $9.99. This city is going to feel a little more hostile with you gone. I live right on Mount Davidson, and I've been here in San Francisco for 20 years, my entire adult life. There has never been more animosity towards, it says it's just towards cops. No, there hasn't, Brendan. There hasn't. Jonathan Gweller for $20. SAC doesn't care about NorCal. They screwed over all the rice farmers and everyone else living rural. Things changed when the Bay Area became expensive, so people started super commuting. I left years ago and didn't look back. Yeah, and they still super commute. You're right. There's people who live 100 miles out of the Bay Area and they commute here to work. It makes no fucking sense. I don't know, man. I blame Odin, says John Ellis Bush for $1.99. I always blame Odin. No, cancel Jeremy. Be safe on your move. Here's some money for coffee on the trip. Peace, says Kent Bards for $10. Thank you. Jacob King for $2.99. Just saying, the Midwest is pretty dope. It is, man. Listen, if it wasn't for fucking tornadoes and snow, I'd be there tomorrow. Great channel. Star Trek, Doctor Who, Lord of the Rings means a lot to me. I like your reviews and commentary. Good luck on the move. Why, thank you, Missy Ann, for $25. There will be more once everything's settled down. There will be Lord of the Rings content. I don't know if you're going to like it, but I'm reading chapters. The first chapter it's going to get released tomorrow morning, or maybe even tonight. I read The Forsaken from The Winds of Winter. Now, the members have had it for a while, and Patreon had it for a while, but I'm going to release it to the world within the next 24 hours. So it's me reading a chapter. I listen to other people's chapters from The Winds of Winter. So I was like, why not I do one? This is your hashtag walkaway story. LOL. Oh yeah. Hashtag walkaway. Crispy Mofo for $5. I am walking away. This is true. driving away. Safe travels, dude, says Sahari Zakari for $4.99. Thank you. Taco Twister for $5. Country Peaches, San Antonio. Have you checked out Fredericksburg, Texas? No, but I might. I'm liking Vills and Bergs right now. You know, people give Vills and Bergs a lot of shit. I think Vills and Bergs are coming up in the world right now. A Red Wolf Corporation for revamp for $5. Ocean City might be an option. Worcester County is one of the most red counties in Maryland. Moved here from Wilmington, Delaware 2 years ago. I have no regrets. Ocean City's red in Delaware? You know what's weird about Ocean City? Red Wolf Corp revamped. There is a sign. It's a famous sign. I'll show it to you. Here you go. It's on 80 on your way out to, is it 80? Yeah, it's on your way out to Lake Tahoe here in the Bay Area. Check this shit out. Ocean City, Maryland, 3,073 miles. So when you're going out to Placerville, Placerville's awesome. It's a great town. Good friend of mine lives there. Lake Tahoe is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it's got the, I don't know what the connection is. I think there's a sign on the opposite end for one of the towns here in California, but yeah, it's such a random. Ocean City, Maryland, 3,073 miles. Douglas Nielsen, he's got a podcast, the Nielsen Report, for $10. Happy trails, Gary. Wherever you wander, we all know you'll never be lost. By the way, will your new studio resemble the original? Take care, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather. Yes, it will greatly resemble. You mean like action figures plastering the wall? Absolutely. You're not even seeing all of them. You're just seeing a little smidge. Now, I don't know if we're gonna have an emphasis of DC. The Spider-Man ones are gonna not get retired. They're gonna go on another wall, and behind me, I'm gonna have a lot of DC and Fantastic Four, some Doctor Who. But yeah, I'm gonna mix it up pretty good. This is a Doctor Who wall right here. Then it's Marvel and DC behind me. Then it's a little Star Trek and vintage stuff on that little strip. Let's see if I point to the right thing. I got to point to the right thing. This little strip right here. All right. So that's next generation figures, and it bleeds into DC superheroes. And then it's got like a Mego right there, a little Mego that's got a Mego Battlestar Galactica. Those are my vintage Star Wars curtains. That is my Doctor Who closet. So if I go this way, you can see that's the Doctor Who closet that's got every classic episode that's available on video. And there's my Big Finish stuff right there. And this is all Doctor Who closet. Just that's the Doctor Who content, not the action figures. On the little side right there, see where it kind of lips in right there? That's just like rando figures. Then it's Migos here. And there's Superman, like, I get confused. You can't see. You can see Marlon Brando through my chair. There he is. He's framed perfectly in my chair. That's the Hot Toys, Jor-El. Then it's Lord of the Rings, right there. And there's another Q, and then there's the TARDIS, and that's all Doctor Who. And then there's shit on the ceiling too. Maps of Westeros, ships hanging up. That's from Angel Smile Time. But there's the ships right there. Ghost Rider figures. But there's going to be so much more. This is just tip of the iceberg. folks. And it's not like a bunch of shit. It's just been sitting around. Now I'm going to sell a lot of it on the online store. So, all right, we got to wrap this up. I have to go to bed to get my truck tomorrow. Because, oh, by the way, you want to know how bad things are? Shit. You want to know how bad things are? You want to know why? If you live in a big city, go try and rent a trailer from U-Haul right now. Minimum 2-week wait. I had to rent a trailer an hour and a half away. An hour and a fucking half away. Now, I didn't want to get a truck because I only want to take it one way. I'm probably going to regret that decision, but I got a trailer and I got to pick it up at 9 a.m. in Fairfield. So I got to leave here at 7 a.m. So I got to go to bed soon. If it's not woke, don't fix it. Cisco Kid for $5. Exactly. JPRPH1, thank you for the $49.99 super chat, super sticker. That's brilliant. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. Cisco Kid, hail Gary, get yourself moved already. Stay safe. I know I've been talking about it long enough, right? Thank you for the $20. The Sci-Fi Cowboy for $5. As a great captain once said, unless somebody trusts somebody, there'll be no one left on earth except the fishes. Except the fishes. You're right. Brian Yoder, thank you for the $20. You need to read this on stream. Instead of cork boards, foam board insulation, 4.5 by 8 sheets. Cover it in cheap fabric. Use stick pins to mount your action figures. Adds insulation and soundproofing to the room. Brian Yoder. Yeah, we'll consider that. I'm going to need it because it's a hardwood floor, but yeah, we could do that. I have not made up my mind on anything, so I am absolutely open to it. Thank you, Brian. Saldrin TJ for $5. Safe travels, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bummer we didn't get a chance to meet for coffee. My family likely sticking around California for foreseeable future. Things are thankfully not going nearly as nuts in San Jose. By the way, meeting my bro in Texas for his wedding in September. It's good to get out, right? Ryan Duleche for $20. Yeah, I mean, San Jose, though, was down where they blocked the freeway, and that one Asian guy had a wrench and was bashing in windows and scared the shit out of that lady. That was in fucking San Jose. Swear to God, that dude comes at me, I'm ending him. Fucking ending him. Yeah, you've all seen that video where 101 was stopped up and that little guy was just pounding on windows and then he run away. Oh, I'd fucking end that dude. As a San Antonio resident, San Antonio is slowly becoming Austin 2.0. If you can consider moving to Bourne, pronounced Burn. It also the location of Demolition Ranch, Matt Best and Brandon Herrera, that AKA guy. Huh. Well, yeah, I'm not moving to San Antonio. I am not moving to the city of San Antonio. Outskirts, general area. Chances are I'm going to move to a small town. But that's good. That's kind of like where I'm homing in on, and I'm going to go from there. There's other places, but I am open to all suggestions. Absolutely. Because you know what? I don't know Texas very well. I've been there 6 times. Actually, El Paso is the place I know the most. But I want to go to El Paso. But, yeah. Yeah, small town. I'm fine with that. I mean, not a super small town, although that'd be fine. But if a town of like 10,000 people, that might seem like a big town to you guys, but I've been in towns where I grew up. Encinitas had 50,000 people. That was doable. I like that. It was nice and spread out though. Primark Vulcan, thank you. Cecil, what's up? For $20. Safe move, Gary. Walking around Brooklyn listening. Can't wait to get out myself. Fuck Marvel. Fuck DC. Fuck Disney Star Wars. Hail Comicsgate. Hail the Phantom Menace. And good luck. Hail fucking Cecil. And dude, I mean it, man. Like, how they did you at Dynamite was the straw that broke the camel's back. I probably had it in the back of my mind that, there might be a Black Label DC comic I get, or there might be a Marvel, and I was really going to get a lot of Dynamite books. Like, I like Deja Thoris. I do. Never. No more. Fucking done. Fuck these motherfuckers. Remus King, Rome, and like, yeah, get out of there as soon as you can. And hopefully we can see each other again soon, Cecil. Good person right there. Cecil's love. All the best for the move, says Remus King of Rome 5 for 10 Australian dollars. Hail. Good luck on your move, Gary. Your move is making me jealous. I am 40 minutes from Chicago. Lori Lightfoot and Jelly Belly Pritzker killed it. Killed Illinois. Yeah, oh God, they did. And I love Chicago. Chicago was a great town. Had a good time last time I was there. Cardinal Sin for $5. Gil, what's up? How's your foot, man? You should live cast your move. YouTube would be lesser for your absence. We love you, Gary. Your content and member only stuff is great. Keep it up. Oh, I will keep it up. I will keep it up. I'll live stream. That would be the most boring shit ever, but I will live stream on Nerdrotic Live, me packing up. I'm in Cerritos, as in Kurtzman's lower ratings. San Diego is a few hours away. Also, check out Book Off. I found gems like Matt Smith. Oh, where is it? Matt Smith Blu-ray. Book Off. Is it a chain store or is it just a bookstore? Good luck with the move and all the best with the new chapter for 20 Canadian dollars from Vashta Narada. Hell yeah. The max or 03 for $1.99. Protesting in Utah was because the cops shot a guy. Oh, did he deserve it? I mean, if he doesn't deserve it, fuck the cops. But if he deserves it, but it's all, you know what? It's worth investigating and finding out what really happened because context fucking matters, although it didn't matter. Also, could you recommend any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles worth reading? Thoughts on Usagi Yojimbo, says, what a movie for $5. Stan Sakai is awesome. I met him. Usagi Yojimbo is great. And Eastman and Laird get the early works. They've collected all the early works. They're fucking great. Is it wrong to mainly watch you because you're hot? LOL, says Jamie Knight for £5. Wow. I don't think of myself as hot. It might be a little wrong. Yeah, no, it's not. It's fine. I would rather you respect my words than for my brain. Really, Jamie? Thank you. Ken of the North, first of his name, for $9.99. Big fan, Gary, but do you really think you're not bringing San Francisco wherever you go? No, I'm not. Just because you're not crazy left, do you think you and the rest of the fam won't try to change what every red town you move to? No, because Melissa's she's not left. She's just like me in the center, but I lean right where it counts. But you don't have to worry about us. You really don't. I'm old enough to know that I don't want to go and I don't want to bring San Francisco with me. I wasn't born and raised here. So I am not a San Franciscan. It is not ingrained in my body. I was born and raised in a very, it was Republican at first, and it's very centrist. It's one of the few true centrist places in California, San Diego. Most of San Diego is, I'd say, 2/3 of it are red now. It used to be all red. But it's very middle of the road. It's very middle of the road, common sense. I think every place should be like that, personally. But if you're worried about like me bringing for example, I'm not religious, but I absolutely respect you going to church. I want people going to church. I know church does a lot of good. I would hate for that to get shut down. I'm not going to go to church, but I want you to go to church if you want to go to church. Absolutely. I think it's stupid that they shut them down. It's not fair, but life isn't fucking fair. No, I am not the kind of person that I don't like laws. I vote against pretty much every law and every tax. So Yeah, I'm not going to affect your community in any way, shape, or form. Except for paying my taxes on time. But it's a good question. It's a good question to ask. I have no problem with that. Michael Tynan for $100. Holy shit. I didn't see that. Sorry, Michael. Hi, Gary. Got to run. I'll catch the upload later. Yes. Take care of your mom. By the way, ever thought of having Damn Fan on one of your streams? Take care and never bend the knee. Never fucking bend the knee. Yeah, I would have. Yes. Anybody, if somebody wants on the streams, all they got to do is ask. I don't know if I'm going to have time for it all the time. Lady Greymaster is the person to ask for that. But yeah, I'll come on your channel too. I don't care how big the channel is. As a matter of fact, I'd prefer to come on an up and coming channel. That would be my preference. But yeah, certainly. Wow. Thank you for the $100. That is fucking brilliant. Jesus. Oh my God. Sergeant Politeness for $5. Now that Warner's dropped the axe on DC, how long until Disney drops the axe on Marvel? Sub question: are there any more Nerdrotic hats available? Yes, there are. We just kind of stopped that because we're moving. But yeah, Sergeant Politeness, hit up Mrs. Nerdrotic on Instagram. That my Instagram. So go to instagram.com/Nerdrotic. Mrs. Nerdrotic will see the message there. Hit her up. She can probably hook you up with the hat. And we'll have some more made too. I like my hats. I think they're cool. Monster01 for $50. Family is important. Take care of you and yours. Safe travels and best wishes from over here in Daly City. Hey, Daly City, where you can get a haircut, but you can't get a fucking haircut here. So lame. Daly City, where you can buy a vape, but you can't get a vape here. Fucking lame. And Daly City is like 4 blocks that way, right that way. Sci-Fi Freak for at the protomolecule level. Welcome to the protomolecule level. Wes and member stream coming soon. Jesus, I remember when you were around 10 to 15,000 followers. Then I check back and you're at 250K. I'm really happy for you, man. Good luck. Wes Y11, thank you, and welcome back. Welcome back. It's always good to have people come back. I appreciate it. A fandom guard for $4.99. Hey, Gary, I have met the last 10 presidents, and I can honestly say our current one is the best one that had the least amount of skeletons in his closet. Fandom guard for $4.99. Yeah, I mean, they put this guy through the ringer, and everything they've accused him of has been bullshit. It's time to wake up. Listen, I was skeptical at first. I joked that I hope he wins for the chaos factor. I was joking. I didn't think if he won, the country would go to shit. Again, I was skeptical at first, really was. But the more I saw what his enemies were like, the more people I saw going against him and the kind of people who were going against them, I started waking me and a lot of other people up. Now, I wanted to stay out of it. I just don't get involved in politics. It bores the shit out of me, but I mean, you cannot avoid them right now. It's impossible. I'll try, listen, I'm here to entertain you and talk. That's it. And we're going to talk about the culture war and SJWs, and we're going to be big on comic books this week. And then I got some Doctor Who stuff to revisit later on. I might have a rumor. I don't know if I'm going to run with this one though. It's crazy. So I need to get verification. It's from somebody else though. Yeah, Doctor Who's fucked, by the way, in a lot of ways. It's just really fucked. And it sucks. And that depresses me, man. Comic books. Fuck them. Fuck everybody. They had to make a pledge not to rape each other. Are you fucking kidding me? Hail, Gary. Could you shout out the fundraiser for my skyrocketing medical bills? I'd appreciate your support. DM and Twitter and mods have it. Yeah, absolutely. If you can, depending on your situation, I can vouch for Gil. Gil's a good dude. Cardinal Sin helped out a lot with the Exozone. He had a major injury. He's out of work. If you could help with a buck, with something, the Modrotics are in there. I'll pop that link in the chat as well. And here it is. The whole story is there. It was a work accident. I mean, it's the worst time to be in, God damn. Yeah, I'm sorry, Gil. But yeah. There it is. There's the link right there. Thanks, Gil. Thanks for the $5. I hope you feel better. Norwegian Kryptonian. Oh, shit. Okay. Norwegian Kryptonian says, shine on, you crazy diamond. 33 Norwegian krona. I still need to watch this. This was sent to me. This is a good movie. You got to watch this, by the way. This is good. Here it is. No, that's not it. Where's my Pink Floyd? There it is. Somebody was kind enough to send me this. I still need to watch this. David Gilmour live at Pompeii. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Jeremy Cash or Jeremy Cush. I'm sorry. I was like Johnny Cash's little brother. For £5, Jeremy Cush. Good luck on the move. Airy TV also has free classic Doctor Who as well. Good. As long as it's free and you're not giving them Doctor Who any money, you can enjoy that classic Doctor Who. A lot of folks running from the Bay Area here in Sacramento. I'm worried we're the next SF. Love the channel. Happy travels. Ryan for $5. You are the next SF. Sacramento is the next SF, without a doubt. Christopher Gorey for $4.99. Gary, real quick before you're out, your take on the big Eccleston announcement this week. Baby steps? No. I mean, like, I would be totally down with this. And let's be real, Big Finish is better than regular Doctor Who, and it's great to have him back. And I would normally buy it, but Timeless Child is canon. The Timeless Child is canon. So if you want to get Eccleston, Big Finish, but you want to get rid of Jodie and the Timeless Child, there's only one solution, and it's tough. It's difficult. You cannot give them any money. You got to stop. I killed my subscription to Big Finish, and if I get the Eccleston Audio Ventures, if there's no mention of the fucking 13th Doctor, and they're not super woke, which they might be, chances are they're going to be fucking woke, I'll get it secondhand on eBay. I'll buy it from somebody on eBay. I am not giving the BBC any money directly anymore, and I've had to say no to some tough things. Duchess Nancy Ann for $4.99. Love your content. Love you, Duchess Ann. A Duchess watches the channel. That's awesome. Margie Smiles for $4.99. Gary, finally made it to a live chat. Hope you found a Pete's Java in San Diego. Stay safe. Hey to Mrs. Nerdrotic. I will say, Margie, Mrs. Nerdrotic. Margie says hi. There you go. She's standing right outside the door. She's being kind of loud right now. She's always loud, though. You should hear Mrs. Nerdrotic when she talks on the phone. She yells. I don't know why she does that. She yells. Betsump for $10. Money to help you move, safe travels, and stay away from woke Austin. I am not getting anywhere near woke Austin. I do not want to be anywhere near a town like San Francisco. That might be worse. I think Austin's actually worse now. Of course, you're swinging by my neighborhood when I've got to work. The missus and I would love to grab some coffee with you. All the best to you, man. Says Alt-Shift-M for $5. Oh, you mean Fairfield? Yeah, I'm going to be in Fairfield tomorrow morning. And I'll be in San Diego Thursday. Gary, Book Off is off Broadway, San Diego near 163. Oh, 200 Watt Studio? Thank you. How do you know that? 200 Watt Studio? Shit, I'm going. Are stores open yet in San Diego? Can I go visit Southern California Comics and spend a bunch of money with Jamie. Thought you were moving to Carlsbad. Caverns there. Joshua Calkins for $1.99. I was originally going to move to New Mexico. That was part of the plan, but that was like a couple of years off. Beerbug changed everything, and New Mexico is a blue state. No longer will we tolerate our franchises being plundered. No longer will we sit by and do nothing. Arise, army of the Nerdrotic. Arise! Flubber11 USA for $5. That gets me fucking fired up. No, we cannot put up with this shit anymore. For real. Like, we really can't. And it sucks. Some of us want to just be happy and live our lives and not be bothered and not bother anybody. The vast majority of us want to just live our lives happy, joyous, and free. But guess what? You got to fight for that shit sometimes. And there are people currently right now who want to take it from you. Do not let them. Fight. And yeah, I mean, really fight. Like, it's going to get ugly. I hope not, but you might as well start preparing. I know a lot of you out there went out and got some firearms. Good. Hopefully it stops at buying firearms. But it's up to the leadership in the city to stop that rioting and looting. And they can, and they choose not to. And the reason they choose not to is because they don't want you to be comfortable. They are your enemy. They are your enemy. They want to take your home. They don't think you have the right to any property. They want to fill your kid's head full of fucking junk, full of fucking propaganda. Never. No need. I said no need to read it on stream. Not you need to. Oh, sorry, Brian Yoder. This is for the bifocal fund. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I do need bifocals, dude. It's pretty obvious. All right. We're at the end. I am going to ditch out. There will be no Nerdrotic Nooner tomorrow. Official. I will live stream from I will be packing up on Nerdrotic Live, probably around 2 p.m. Keep an eye out on nerdrotic.com for the time, or out on Twitter or Parler or Facebook or the Facebook group or Instagram, whatever. But everybody have a great day. Everybody have a great night. Thank you for all your support. You really pumped me up tonight. You really did. I'm fucking fired up. I can't wait to do this. We are going to get this done. We're going to have the new studio up. We're going to have some fun for the rest of the year. My life is going to be making content, live streaming, and training. That's it. That's all. And being in San Diego where I can see the sun once in a while. That'll be nice. Thanks. Back at you, Cardinalston. Thank you for the $1.49. Azura Panda for $5. People need to stop going to see the fires altogether. Just wait for a review. Yes. Or tire fires altogether and just wait for the review. Exactly. See, I need bifocals. Gary, you missed my super chat. Oh, well, love you still. Adam, the Last Starfighter for $2. I might have missed a couple. Lady Gravemaster is probably going to keep track. You know what? I'm going to read it right now. Sorry if I missed it, Adam. My bad. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Harry. Wait, God dang it. There's a bunch I missed. Hang on. I am sorry. Oh, my Lord. Okay. AKA Blonded for $5. Hey, Gary, good to see everyone here. Been waiting since 3 p.m. Oh my God. Have a cup of Java on me. I am sorry. Yeah, I had to finish the video and they always take longer than I expect. Pie tossing for $5. Biden's build back better is just MAGA phrased differently. Build back better. People haven't noticed this. Probably not. Probably not. Hey, Gary, to quote Mr. Biden, if you ain't voting for me, you ain't black. Here's a 5 for 3 gallons in Texas. Good luck to wherever you plant your feet. Thanks. Thanks for the $5. Hypno Toad. D Newton for $20. Hey, Gary, lost my dad to cancer on Wednesday. Was there with him right to the end, 24/7, giving him pain medication with a syringe. Yeah, I do the same thing. I do this. It's fucking, that's horrible. I remembered your story about your own dad and just the shared experience helped. Thank you. I'm glad I could help a little, because I can't think of anything worse in life, to be honest with you. That was the hardest thing I've ever done. And it's hard for me to even think about. So I'm so sorry, D Newton. I know exactly what you're going through, and it's fucking brutal. Sorry, D. This town needs an enema. Joker and Gary, says Shark Dentures for $2. You are right. Adam Last Starfighter for $4.99. Gary, come to Utah so we can hang. It's great here. Glad I left Oregon last month. Utah shut protests down quick since the governor isn't a Dem. Good. Hammer Hand for $20. Hail Gary, hail chat. Your MGTOW brothers have your back. Why, thank you. And I've got yours too. Thank you for what you do. Good luck with the move. Thank you. What it does well for Australian $2. Tyler Cowart for $5. Hey Gary, please stay safe and happy during your travels. I will. Oh my God. I miss so many. Okay, we're going to rush. We're going to not rush, but we're going to get through these. Okay. This is doable. Time to ramble on, my friend. Safe journeys. On a lighter note, what was the first comic you ever bought? Mine was Marvel Team Up number 51, Spidey and Iron Man. Steven Yarnell for $9.99. Mine was Marvel Team Up number 42, Spider-Man and Vision. And they were stuck in the 1600s with a Pilgrim and Dr. Doom. Oakland native here, now living in Minnesota. Visiting the Bay Area is fun, but wouldn't want to live here anymore. Oh, Missouri? What's MI? Is it Minnesota or Missouri? Shaolin Wright for $5, but he doesn't want to live here anymore. I'm right there with you. Inferno PS for $10. I live in Mendocino County, mostly Trump up here, but we have no chance of changing anything because the voices in the city are too many. More than half of my family native to California moved already. Not surprised. 200. Yeah, like people are, California is actually net losing people every year now. Reading Ostrander's Spectre. Damn good stuff. Far cry from today's DC. That's comic book storytelling. You goddamn right. 200-watt studio. Jason C, thank you for the phallic unicorns for $1.49 each. Eskimonofono says coffee money for the drive. Thank you, Eskimonofono. Eli McGinnis, thank you for the $9.99. Nicholas Horton, thank you for the super sticker. Nicholas Horton for $5 says, good luck packing up all of your collectibles, Gary. Yeah, I'm going to need it. It's going to be easier to pack them up than put it back up, though. Movie Gattaca TV friends comic recommendation, says the John Beck for $2. I recommend reading. I would read, honestly, Cyberfrog right now. Cyberfrog and Jawbreakers. Is it wrong to mainly watch you? So I'm caught up. Big fan here, Gary. Do you really think? Oh, okay. So I read that one too. So let's go and see if we're caught up now. Wonder Girl 60 for $19.99. If you and Melissa need some guidance in picking the right areas in San Antonio to settle in and make home, let us know. I will let you know, Wonder Girl 60. Thank you for the $19.99 and all of your loyal support for all this time. Thank you. Artist Art T. Bear is leaving California as well. He is. Good. He watches the show once in a even despite me mispronouncing his name for 25 years. Mark C. T. Bear. T. Bear. Thank you, Mark C. Hail. Gary, safe travels and look me up if you're ever through Palm Springs. 200-watt studios for $5. I love Palm Springs. I will be visiting there until the day I die. I love to golf there, so I will visit you. Do you golf, 200-watt studio? Do you golf? Sarah B., welcome to the Gandalf level. Hail. Safe trip Have you checked Salty Cracker? I have not. Divine Dragoon for $9.99 for 2 Canadian pesos, but I will. Grab a burger on the way out too, says R. Fletch. Hail. Hey, Gary, just bought $100 worth of comics today. Only new one was the AVP 30th anniversary hardcover. Food for thought for the comic book industry. The only new one was AVP. Oh, yes, exactly. Jedi Nightwing for $5. The only new one was AVP. Good for you. All right. And I think that is it. John Wayne drinks SJW tears for $2. Good luck, Gary. Happy trails to you and your family. Thank you. Thank you. Grab some Dutch Brothers while you're up here. I might Alt Shift M for $2. That sounds really good. I'm super hungry right now. Jason C, thank you for the phallic unicorn. And Yojo, welcome to the proto molecule level. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. Live streaming on Nerdrotic live tomorrow. Just packing up. I don't know how exciting it's going to be, but please join me. Friday Night Tights, 2 p.m. Pacific time with Just Some Guy, come hell or high water. It's happening. If I have to go rent a hotel room to do the show for him, I will do that. All right. So remember, not all who wander are lost, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather. Also, please remember, never to kneel, and you bow to no one. Where am I supposed to end? Oh, there we go. Bye-bye.